Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio. We are live from the Real Talk Studios like we are every Wednesday night. And every Wednesday night we are brought to you by our certified public accountant.
Make
'em yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milakovic, Robbie Pozo on the ones and twos, Ron Clements in the house from Home Run on Wheels. Make sure you follow on Family. As we move on in the show, we're going to let Ron talk about his book coming out and everything that they do over there and let the family know about it because he's one of us. I met Ron in San Diego, which is really cool. My dad's not really smart too often, but he was smart on this one. And he's like, you guys got to talk. And you know, we linked up and following each other, and Ron's in town, so we got to get him on the air. Last year we had him on calling in the summer, but now live on air. We got a ton to talk about tonight, fam. Time permitting, you make the call, whatever you want at the end of the show. Eagles training camp talk. It's upon us. It's an exciting time. I'm already packed up and ready to go to Broad. We'll talk about that later on in the show.
Carson's dealing.
Spinning it, as they say. As they say. The guy flat out spins it. Home Run on Wheels, like we talked about. Ron Clements, we'll get into that. Phillies deadline deals. Well, when the email was written last night, I'm going to tell you something from what I see right here, okay? When all you go out and get is Corey Dickerson, who I like Corey, okay? Corey's a good little player. No issues with Corey. But when you don't make a big move and a splash, this is the goddamn result you get tonight, okay? Because you think guys don't know it? You think guys don't know that upgrades were needed?
JT asked for it.
Yeah, guys asked for it, and you weren't aggressive at the deadline like other teams were.
But Tom, they went out and they got Drew Smiley and Jason Vargas and Blake, whatever his name is, and Morin, whatever his name is.
And Dan Straley.
Dan Straley in the minors.
I just don't understand.
Logan Morrison in the minors. Like
how you spent all that money.
They went out and made their moves.
You spent all that money in the offseason.
This is me rolling my eyes.
And this is what you come back to. And this is how aggressive you are at the deadline.
And I'll tell you what. The unmitigated gall of Matt Klentak today to sit there at the microphone and say, our stars have to get it done. We spent so much in the offseason, our stars have to get it done.
How much of an impact is this with the Phillies' disappointment over the last month or two is Cutts getting hurt?
Oh, it's huge. It's absolutely huge.
I think, Ryan, that's a great point. I think even more in the clubhouse. The field productions he's always going to give you. Yeah. But I think even more than that, one, what he did to the lineup because he makes it deeper, and you're allowed to, and he can lead off for you, which is so important. This is what this team's been missing. But bigger than that, what he can do in the clubhouse. He's a great team guy. He's been around for a long time. He's been MVP, and everybody that talks about him, flat out loves him. So when you have a guy like that, I think that's his biggest impact is off the field a little bit. But to our poll question, we'll do MLB trade analysis. We'll go through all the moves that were made today, some winners, some losers. But our poll question, real simple. The Phillies are a playoff team. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. I lost my voice.
I'll say yo, daddy. Nice voice.
Yeah, I lost it. It's done. I left it all out there in Long Island. Left it all out there. Kids know. Guy leaves it all on the field.
On Long Island?
Yeah, Long Island.
Long Island.
It's too long, by the way. Everything's like 20 miles away, an hour, 5 minutes, huh?
Yeah,
what happened?
That's a hike.
Like, what happened? Yeah, and it wasn't bad. We actually made it home in about 3 and got there in about 2:45. So the times we left actually worked out for us. So we were in and out.
Hey, man, yesterday driving in Philly, it took me an hour to go 14 miles.
Yep, that's about right. That's about 100% right.
It was about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, they'll do it.
So
that's definitely it.
Pending the outcome of this game, which obviously looks like the Phils are headed for an L. But if the season ended at this minute, with records being what they are, the Phillies are actually the second NL wildcard team. Now, they lose this game. They drop to a half game behind Chicago and Washington for that second and final wildcard spot. But, I mean, Washington was busy today. Atlanta was busy today. Chicago was busy today.
The whole division was busy, but with impactful moves, but the Phillies.
Even the Marlins were busy.
The Marlins traded Zach Gallen away. What the Mets did, the Mets are going to catch us. I'm sorry to tell you. The Mets are going to catch us with that rotation.
Well, I thought it was interesting when we sat here last 2 weeks ago. We were talking about the fact that because there's no waiver deals, that there were going to be some unexpected teams that made trades on guys that were selling low.
Yep.
And we did see a lot of that.
No, we did.
I mean, especially last night, given the whole Trevor Bauer deal with Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's going nowhere this year. But they basically stole Trevor Bauer from the Indians. And I had thrown it out to our little group this morning that I wouldn't be surprised if Bauer got flipped.
Yeah.
And Rob kind of chimed back in and said, no, it's not looking like he's going to get flipped. He's going to stay there, and they're going to go into next year with 3 solid starters.
Yeah,
but a lot of crazy deals, a lot that made sense, some that didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. So, for the Phillies to be as inactive as they were, I mean, I like Dickerson, and if he's healthy, he'll rake. It's definitely an upgrade over what they have now, but no arms is a concern.
That was my biggest thing. I like the Dickerson move. You essentially give up nothing for 2 months. My only issue was him and Jay Bruce are almost the same guy.
Well, to me, it tells me that Jay Bruce isn't healthy.
Well, they say he's back next week.
I guess we'll see that when it happens.
Yeah, I mean, if Dickerson – again, I like Dickerson, but if he was a right-handed bat, I would love it even more because at least it would have been something different than what's already out there. Like if that was Nick Castellanos, I would have loved that even more.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, it's a team that said to their players that we're not all in. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I mean, this team's been inconsistent, hitting all goddamn year. Nothing's changing right now. It's another must-win game at home, and, they're just inconsistent. Bats were alive last night. They come back tonight. They're not. I mean, guys aren't going to hit. Guys right now are not hitting their numbers. And it doesn't look like they are going to. There's a lot of guys in this lineup that you expect to have monster years, and you're not getting it. Harper still hasn't broke out, right? We continue to talk about it's only, at one point it's only May, right? It's only June. It's only July. July's almost done. Okay, so I mean, we're running out of time for that hot month that he's so known for that we haven't gotten. So it's almost like we got. I understand he's having a great year with runners on and all this stuff, but and I don't care about the money. I care about the impact, and you're here to carry. You're here to carry. Ryan Howard got crushed in this city. All he did was carry a baseball team offensively and got drilled for it because he struck out too much. I need more. I need more from him.
So my wife and I went to Saturday's game. It was my birthday, so
you got to see those ugly ass Saturday night special uniforms.
I actually like those uniforms.
The best part about that game was the Braves uniforms.
Yeah,
that was cool too. And then we actually had a couple of Phillies fans sitting behind us who, when it was 14-1 in the 4th inning, they were like, "We're out." But
there is a good bar across the street, so
right? But when we did karaoke there after the game.
There you go.
I mean, we had to end my birthday out on a right note, right?
There you go.
So, but anyway, when Harper struck out for the 3rd time that game, I was like, oh my God, what a disappointment has this guy been? I tweeted that, and some guy responded to me on Twitter. He's like, what are you talking about? He's got 71 RBI, and I'm just like, he's batting .250. He's supposed to be an MVP guy to carry the team. To your point, Tom, and he just hasn't done that, and an MVP caliber player shouldn't need someone like Andrew McCutchen to protect him in the lineup.
I completely agree. I mean, this has been the MO for him for a while now, is his inconsistency. All I did was beg for him to be a more consistent player. Listen, it isn't there yet. I thought that as he's coming into his prime now, 26, 27, that you would start to see that consistency start to come together, and it hasn't. And I'm not saying it's wasted money because it's not. I would give him the money all day and twice on Sunday because you had to. You had to get a star in here.
He's supposed to be the Mike Trout of the National League.
Yeah, and it's not the case. I mean, Trout carries a bad Angels team, because all he does is hit. All he does is hit, right? Yeah. I mean, and that team's competitive. They're not obviously a playoff team, but they're competitive. They're always tough. And the one thing about Trout, he's never inconsistent.
No, he doesn't slump.
You know, his
not at
slumps
all.
are quick. He gets out of them quick. Harper doesn't. And guess what? Reese Hoskins deserves shots too.
But
I mean, Reese Hoskins is under freaking performed. Okay, he's a
even above
selfish.
all that.
He's a selfish cat, and I know it for a fact. Okay, he's selfish. We talked about it last night, right? He don't care if they win baseball games and he's 0 for 4. He's not happy. Listen, there's all these pitchers we needed. I would have traded his ass today if that's true. You understand? If any bit of that's true, I would have traded him today.
So I have a non-Phillies question.
Okay.
Are the Pittsburgh Pirates officially sellers now? Like, did they just throw in the towel on the season?
No, I don't think so.
They only moved Dickerson, right?
They only moved Dickerson.
Well, he's a big part of their lineup, though.
Yeah, but he's been hurt so often that I think what you saw was Pittsburgh realize they can play without him. So if they can get something for him, even if it's international spending money and a player to be named later. I mean, I don't know what it is over the last 5 years, but Major League Baseball teams love this international spending money. I mean, you might as well be handing them gold bricks.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Phillies offered international spending money and the Pirates jumped all over that.
Yeah, of course,
So-
because we don't know how to internationally sign anyway.
We don't need it anyway.
So, I mean,
we can't
that,
sign them.
we just might as well give that money away.
Well-
And I agree with that then, because you stink at it, so it's like give them away.
Well, you know,
like
we-
the same way I say about NFL teams that can't draft, like just give your picks away.
We got
And
our-
for players that can play.
We got
Just
our
give them
guy,
away.
Jalen Ortiz, the quote-unquote next big poppy that we signed at 16.
Yep.
And he's still at low A.
Yeah, here he comes.
Yep.
Like I could go find.
He'll be here in 7
I
years.
could go find a Dominican that's 16 that's Major League ready right now. Okay, without any international spending money.
He was your,
I'll do it on my own.
He was your busboy on vacation.
Yeah, it's on the house. He was my server.
He was your cabana boy.
He was serving at the
And
16.
you were hitting him rocks in the parking lot.
Stay down.
But look at this team as a whole.
Hey,
Like,
Gabe, meet Paulo.
And put your goddamn book away. Too. Guy, put it away because he had.
yeah, he was looking at it
Look,
earlier.
look, Gabe, it's called an eye test.
Did it
Use
work? Did it
Use
work?
it one time.
But there's so many guys that have struggled, and not just a couple weeks, not just a couple months, for the entire year, and yet they just sit there and the front office makes no moves with this coaching staff. I understand a lot of this team is veterans, and they should be able to work themselves out. But the coaches are there, and the coaches are there for a reason. You know, so it's like when does this shift from the players? Yes, they've been bad. But when does this shift to the coaches and someone's head finally rolls?
Well, it's funny that you said that because I'm at the ball game on Friday night, and then I tweeted out Saturday morning. I said, anybody else at the Phillies game last night see Rick Kranitz walk out to the mound and immediately think, damn, the Phillies fired the wrong pitching coach?
Yes.
Like, they should have just let Chris Young walk.
Especially when
and
it wasn't
kept
the right
Kranitz.
Chris Young.
Well, and it's the wrong Chris Young. Exactly. It's not the 6'10" Chris
Yeah,
Young.
it's
It's
not
the
the 6'10"
Well, I
Chris
will
Young.
tell you one
It's
thing.
the jabroni Chris Young.
I assume that we're going to have a different hitting coach next year. It's probably going to be Ali from the Nationals. If I had to guess, he only went back there for 1 year. He's Harper's guy,
Right?
Okay, and he only went back there for 1 year because he wasn't sure what Bryce was going to do at the time, and he had the offer there and he had to take it. So what I think is going to happen is our $330 million man is going to say, "Let me tell you something.
Go get my guy.
Go get my guy and get him over here."
The Nats can hit.
and then that's hit. Right, so I mean, there's
Nats
proof.
great.
There's proof in that putting every kid that comes up hits. So there's something that he teaches. Like at some point, your point is factual, right? When I continuously underachieve, and I've been doing it now for 2 years, where there's been collapses, because this has been a collapse too. We were in first place for a while.
Zach
okay?
Eflin can't get anybody out.
So who does it become on? It becomes on every coach in that dugout that teaches
Yes.
or is supposed to teach. Because if everybody's numbers are down hitting, whose fault's that? The hitting guy, right? If I want to throw a different lineup out tonight after we hit last night, who's that on? That's on Gabe Kapler. You hit last night, babe. Roll the same damn thing out.
Yeah.
If you don't hit, then you change it.
Right.
So at some point, when all my pitchers who could all pitch in the minors and all considered good arms, blah, blah, blah.
That
they
we
all get-
overvalued so
yeah,
high.
and they all get here and they can't figure stuff out, and they all have to go back down. Who's that on?
No, I
Who's
hear
it
you.
on? It's 101.
Well, it's also interesting to me, like you're talking
Boys
about
is shot, leaving it all out here tonight too.
you're talking about, the fact that Bryce's guy is still down in Washington. Like, let's rewind this now all the way to December, January. They hire Bobby Dickerson as their infield coach, who's Manny's guy. I mean, Manny loves him from their days in Baltimore. And then they don't sign Manny. I mean, So, do we now go back to that whole theory that Manny really was the guy?
No, I mean, I'll say it all the time. That's
Manny,
the guy I wanted.
Manny really was the guy, but they weren't about to pay $30 million for him. And when he got the $30 million from San Diego, then they realized, like, if they want Bryce, they're going to have to basically overpay.
Yeah,
I'd pay for it right now.
I think Manny was the guy they wanted from Jump Street, and it didn't work out for him. But
don't get me wrong, Manny's numbers aren't any better than Bryce's right now. But
I trust
you know.
him. I trust Machado more, but I love Harper, dude. I wanted both.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted both because I thought if you're going to spend stupid money, then go spend stupid money. There's no cap. Act like a top 5 market, which they are. They need to act like it sometimes. They did this all season a little bit, but listen, I would rather have Machado than Segura and McCutchen. Like, I would rather have Harper Machado than the 3 of them. Make sense? Like, I would have kept Crawford and went that direction.
Well, that's why you would have rather have it, because you wanted to keep Crawford.
No, but your infield's better. Who's having a better year hitting, Franco or Crawford?
Crawford.
And that's the bad thing, right? But he's having a better year hitting. So you look at Crawford and Machado. You know, either Crawford plays third and Machado plays short, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Because they're both interchangeable there. Now my lineup's better. My lineup's better that way. I got more guys that when pitchers come in the game, I got to have guys up at the plate that you freaking fear, that you're scared to groove to. Because that's what's going to get in the pitcher's head and give you a pitch to hit. When they're trying not to groove and they're trying to spot out perfectly. That's when guys make mistakes. There's not enough guys in this lineup that scare me if I'm a pitcher. There's one guy. There's one guy that puts fear into me, and that's Bryce.
Yeah.
That's it. You're just not going to win that way. This lineup doesn't even compare to 08 or some of the best lineups in baseball. It's not even close to them.
Well, then you look at Ron's Brewers, and they got pop all up and down the lineup. They could afford to trade a hitter to go get arms because they have so much pop in their lineup.
Yeah, when I saw the Brewers traded Jesus, I thought they were going to get like Buddha or Muhammad
Gandhi.
back or something.
Yoda.
You know, but no, in all seriousness, so the Brewers are a team that definitely needed pitching, and God, I tell you what, I mentioned the Pirates. You know, are they sellers now? You know, did they give up? But now I'm rethinking that because I realized the Pirates went through a slump, but the NL Central is just so bad this year.
Yeah, not what we thought it would be.
No.
And they sort of beat up on each other, which is what's going on, and that's why I think there's so much ebb and flow with that division because they all beat up on each other. You know, I think years past you would, you know, when there was only 2 good teams in there, you know, I think it was a little easier. Now you got every team in that division is good.
Well,
you know, and not in the grand, they're not playing that way. But I think that's I feel like they just sort of beat up on each other, and that's why they're all so jumbled up and nobody's ran away with it.
Well, but here's the thing. So the entire NL Central is separated by 11 games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
1st to 5th. Cincinnati's 7 games out, and they parted with Scooter Gennett and Yasiel Puig, but then they went out and got Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, so they're almost saying, like, you know, we can hit because they know they can hit there.
Yeah.
So
the Reds
we need
hit
arms.
like crazy.
We need arms.
But, I mean, you have St. Louis. Chicago's a game back. Milwaukee's 2 games back.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee still scares me.
Which means Milwaukee's a game out of the wild card.
Well, to the poll question,
right behind the Phillies.
The Phillies are a playoff team. Do you agree or disagree with that statement? Let us know. Boys, what do you think?
Well, maybe one of the wild cards. I don't think they're catching the Braves.
No.
I mean, not at all.
That's out of the question. But to a wild card or to make it at all. You agree? Disagree?
Because I know the NL wild card teams are not going to come out of the Central, and the Phillies are second place, right?
Third right now, second wild card, yes.
Okay. What about the West? Who's behind the Dodgers? Are they in contention?
It's the Rockies, and they're at least 12 games back.
It's just the Dodgers.
All right. So, I mean, I would say, yeah, at this point, the Phillies are probably one of those 2 wild card teams. Now, do they win that game? You know, I don't know. Do they advance past the NLDS? Probably not.
But you think they can get there? You think they agree? Okay, Greg?
I disagree.
I'll defer to you on this one.
I disagree. When everybody else in your division, well, that's near you. I'm not going to say the Marlins got better, but when everybody else in your division got better, the Mets got better with their rotation, especially keeping Syndergaard, who seems the last couple starts seem to have figured it out, and he's back to the guy he used to be. And then you had both the Braves and the Nats go bolster their bullpens, which was their weakness.
Well, the Braves got the guy that we wanted,
Shane
Green.
Yep.
They got the big name on the reliever market.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Phillies, listen, they were active, but they weren't anything impactful.
Right.
They were just guys just to go get guys so they could say, hey, we went to get guys.
And I'm tired of somebody telling me that they're better than what we have. Okay, just because you go get other slop that's a little better doesn't make it better. You
So
understand?
I'm going to disagree.
It's slop, but it's
And
different
I
slop.
disagreed a
different
few
kinda-
weeks ago.
different kind of sloppy Joe. It's fine.
I disagreed a few weeks ago when the same question was asked because I kind of sensed this coming.
Well, it was interesting. The reason that I wanted to ask the same question was I wanted to see if the tone of the fan base has changed at all over the last 2 weeks. Where,
Yes.
the team, they 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. There really hasn't been much change over the last couple weeks in this team. But looking at everyone around them, I kind of wanted to see if the pulse had changed at all. I said disagree 2 weeks ago, and I'm staying with that.
Yeah.
And it's literally for the exact same reasons that you said.
Hey, I'm looking at this-
everyone in the division has gotten better except for them.
Hey, I'm looking at the standings now. Can I change my
You absolutely
vote?
can.
Okay, because I see the Brewers sitting a game behind the Cubs, Phillies, and Nationals, and
And it'll be a half game and 2 outs. So
right, and I think the Brewers definitely got better today because they added a couple of arms, which they needed, but they still have pop. I think the Brewers end up winning that division, but either the Cubs or Nationals are probably, or maybe even the Giants. Although the Giants gave up some stuff today, but yeah, I think the Phillies might just be on the outside.
See,
looking in.
I'm with you there. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the Dodgers, Braves, and probably I'm going to say the Cubs wind up pulling out that division. I think Washington at this point now is a lock for the first wild card, and
Looks like it.
I think the
I dropped a beer.
the second wild card is either going to be Milwaukee or St. Louis.
Yeah, see,
I don't think the Phillies have a shot, to be honest.
See, I agreed 2 weeks ago because they were in that spot, and I said, well, they're in it.
I
so,
mean, as a Brewers fan, I would love nothing more than Milwaukee win the division and the Cubs and Cardinals are out totally. So, and then, put the Phillies in, sure.
anybody but them.
So what were you saying, Tom?
No, I was just saying that I agreed 2 weeks ago, and because they were in that spot. But I don't know. I mean, just going out and there's no true upgrades, and you didn't address the biggest needs you have, and everybody around you got better, and you just, sat on your hands and decided that you're not in the market for anything because you don't want to give up prospects. Okay. I mean, I'll stand by this. I'll trade prospects for proven MLB talent any day of the week. Any day of the week. Doesn't matter who the freaking prospect is.
I'm with
because
you.
I want guys that I know that what they can do at the big league level. A prospect, even though he could be the greatest thing since Babe Ruth, right? And you still don't know what you're getting until he gets to the show.
Well, I told you guys when I called in last week. I mean, I saw 2 minor league games on Wednesday and a minor league game on Thursday, and I think I saw a grand total of 4 good players. Like, their system is just bare right now.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's sad because 5 years ago, they had a top 10 system in the major leagues. Now they're probably bottom 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Obviously, we don't know what was being asked out there, but if they're sitting there holding their, holding on to Moniak because, he was too good to give up. Like he's passed over. Moniak's passed over.
All right, real quick. I'm going to get to the comments, but I don't disagree with you at all, Greg. There's guys you can give away.
Yeah.
They weren't in the doing it. Matt Haxton says the Braves got better at giving up peanuts. And I agree because, Green's a guy that –
I don't know if they give up peanuts. They did give up Colby Albert, one of their best starting but for Green, they gave up peanuts.
That's the point,
For
yeah.
the other guy yesterday.
Well, we could have got Green for peanuts.
Yeah.
And we weren't in on Green, which is
Yeah.
a disgrace. Tristan Russo, if this was Howie, he would have traded all day. No, you're right, brother. You are right. Howie hero. Crum says, I agree with you, Tom. The report was Cards balked on Wheeler deal because they didn't want to give Bader or O'Neill. Fuck that. Take your shot and win it.
They just demoted Bader.
Yeah. Which doesn't, again, some of these deals don't make sense. Clay's in the house. What's up, brother? He's all jacked up over the Braves.
Chop on.
Matt Haxton says Marlins have a really good young talent. Has like 7 or 8 players in the top 100 list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeter's done a good job of getting them back in terms of it. And a couple years away, they're a couple years from away really competing.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. We're all worried about and this division's loaded for a while, man.
Yeah.
There's young talent sprinkled all around. Greg,
Except
you
for
on
us.
YouTube? Tristan Russo, Jason freaking Vargas. You know, people aren't happy. The family's not happy, and they shouldn't be. Okay, and they come out after the trade deadline today, and they lay a flat-out egg. A flat-out egg.
They did.
Okay, and all weekend long, Atlanta comes in and blows the doors off of you. That's not telling you need more stuff.
And you win one game, and it's like false hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You win Sunday, and it's like, oh, we're okay.
Yeah, you win Sunday and
No,
Tuesday.
you're not okay.
You win Sunday and Tuesday, and you feel better, and then you come out and lay an egg.
Yeah.
Andy Axon.
I was joking during Saturday's game that I was literally tweeting is like, well, the Falcons scored again over the Eagles because the score was just so out of control.
That's what it was. It was a football score. Where are we at? Andy Axon pitching stinks, but 5 hits tonight. What the fuck? You're right.
Absolutely.
Andy, you're right. I mean, this is an inconsistent lineup. It's disgusting. Trade Reese Hoskins. Can you still make a trade? Can you call Commissioner Rob Manfred and say, hey, Rob, can we get a trade done here?
We made a mistake.
We made a mistake.
We made a
I want
mistake.
this guy out of my freaking clubhouse.
Well, actually,
Okay, because I know for a fact that all he cares about is getting hits. They can lose, and if he goes 1 for 4 with a homer, he's happy. I don't surround a team that I'm trying to win with guys like that. Okay, and you heard the audio, Mike, up when he got the little blue hit that should never been a hit, and he was begging for a hit. Remember?
Yeah.
He's like, "That's got to be a hit, right? That's got to be a hit, right? It's gotta be." You care that much, bro? You care that much? I care about one thing: rings and winning baseball games. If he doesn't care about that and all he cares about is stats,
But he's Kapler's friend.
and your stats stink, then get out of town. I don't care that he's the fastest Philly, the 73 homer. I don't care. I don't care.
You just don't like him at all.
I'm starting to.
And I understand why.
When I hear this stuff from some guys that have
Tom
inside
is
knowledge
fired up.
right? Some guys who have inside knowledge on it, and that's the knowledge that they're getting
it's-
back.
yeah.
I'm coming hot. Bye, girl. Bye. See ya. I'll get so much back in return because he's Babe Ruth. He's the greatest. He's the greatest hitter of all time. As he drops his back shoulder every freaking swing. Every swing. How about you're 6'3", Reese, or 6'4", and you act like it, and you drive through with damn baseball? How about you watch a Chipper Jones video one time, please, okay? And talk about going through 405 and not over it. Okay, your launch angle bullshit has you batting 240-ish. Okay, I don't care about your RBIs because they're hollow to me and they're shallow. They're not even freaking real. And I don't care about how many home runs you have because how many are in big spots, okay? Because that's what I look at. At least Harper hits in big spots. This Crum don't hit, period. He was the guy we needed to hit. We need to bat 270 like he's capable of. We need him to drive in 45 home runs and over 130 RBIs. It's not going to happen.
All right, boys.
And Boris, that's for you because I ain't paying him. So you better go knock on somebody else's door.
All right, boys. So this is for all of you too, by the way. So this is from Mark Mack, one of my guys on the on YouTube. He says,
What up, Mark?
Says Big Mike, when the Phillies make the playoffs, first game at Lou's house, bring the crew. I'll put out a spread better than the Eagles Jacksonville game. You remember that one, right,
I'm
buddy?
in. They just got to make the
in.
playoffs,
And
though.
I think I told you boys about that they had that Eagles Jacksonville game in London at 9:30 on a Sunday morning. There was a breakfast spread and a lunch spread and more beer than you could handle.
Let's go.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Let's go.
Giddy up.
Line them up.
We just got to make the playoffs, though.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Fat kids need to eat. Let's go.
Do it for the
I'm
fat
in.
kids.
I'm in. We need you, Phils. We need you. But I'm done with that guy, okay? The second I find out that you're that kind of baseball player, I don't want you anymore.
Wait, so how do you feel about Reese Hopkins again?
He's a crumb. He's a me guy, and I hope he goes over for the season now. Hope he goes over for the freaking season. Hope he doesn't get a hit, period.
I got to talk to you off the air because I want to know where you're getting this intel.
Yeah, I'm not here to lie to you. Greg knows it. I'm not here to lie. But, yeah, we'll talk at the break.
All right.
I'll tell you. I'm not going to lie. When I find out he's a crumb, I want him gone that second. I'm going to drove down. Screw the credentials. I'll start banging on doors. Somebody's going to answer sooner or later.
Gabe! Gabe!
If I didn't lose my voice, I would yell Gabe. It would hurt. It would hurt so bad.
Let me eat coconut oil.
Tristan says, what a difference 4 months
I got a
makes.
fungo for Reese, and I'm going to put it where the sun don't shine.
Bryce Blackwell in the house saying, yo, what up, Bryce?
What up, Bryce?
Bryce says Astros are loaded.
Yeah, they're pretty
Thanks,
good.
Captain Obvious.
Yeah, they're
Houston.
pretty good.
Houston, we have a problem.
Got a big
No, you
problem.
Full steam, and I would expect the 250 from there, not 250 from Citizens Bank. I don't know what that was about.
You said it's kind of hard to hit it.
Oh, yeah, in Petco. Yeah, no question about it. No question. Plays big. I love that park, though. Park
Great stadium.
Yeah, it's amazing down there.
I love
Really
Foolish
good.
Demon's previous comments. So he says football is back. Carson was doing Mahomes shit before Mahomes. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm feeling you.
No, I mean, he was semi-wise.
No, he wasn't throwing the ball left-handed, no look. That's
No.
that's Mahomes shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's his pedigree shit.
Yeah, it is.
That's daddy.
That's daddy ball.
That's daddy. You know what I mean? That's like I just want to draft guys whose parents played. Like, I'm just a big believer and be like, where'd your folks play? I didn't make it
Blue Jays
anywhere.
worked out real
yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Their infield's pretty loaded right now.
Oh, what was it? Biggio, Bichette, and Vladdy Jr.?
Vlad
Let me
Jr.
tell you right now, the Yankees and Red Sox, you better watch out in a few years.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying to you.
Well,
that team's going to
You know what
rape.
they
That
did?
puppy's going to be there for a while,
And it's
so you
something
better
you
watch
talked
out.
about last year, is they brought all those kids up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they won in the minors together. I don't know if they won like the clip that the Phillies did
Yep.
at one time. But they brought them all up at the same time.
And the Phillies did.
Bichette was out of the Yankee system, though. They got him in a trade, I believe it was last offseason. So he only played 2/3 of a year in their system.
But they all played together for a second.
Yeah.
At least the other two definitely.
Beginning of this year, yeah.
Like Biggio and Vlad
Vladdy,
are their picks.
Yeah.
But they did a great job, and the Blue Jays are going to be a team that, that division is only going to get better. And Jesus going to Tampa, he's always going to do his hit now.
Yeah.
That's how it goes when you go to Tampa.
Right.
I don't know.
It's like first three at
They'll
bats.
turn anybody's career
Look,
around.
as a Brewers fan, I'm not happy the Brewers traded Jesus Aguilar.
I like Jesus Aguilar.
I was all about the hashtag We Believe in Jesus last year.
Yeah, well, they don't now. I mean, that switched quick.
Here's my worst nightmare, though.
He
So,
stinks too.
so the Phillies lose out on a playoff
JT
spot
Remington is not stink.
to Milwaukee by one game, and Milwaukee somehow wins that game with Domingo Santana hitting a walk-off grand slam.
I'd be okay with
I
that.
will hunt down Ed Wade, and I will say, you son of a bitch.
No, wasn't that a Reuben?
I thought it was Ed Wade that forgot to put him on the do not trade
I
list.
thought it was Rube because that was the Hunter Pence deal.
Was it the Hunter Pence deal?
Yeah.
All right, so it was Rube.
Yeah.
So I'll find Ruben.
He's probably coaching third base somewhere.
Well, I see Ruben at breakfast like once every few months at Jake's Cafe in Newtown. So
yeah.
I may have to go just sit out in Jake's parking lot every Sunday for like a month.
They pretty
Wait
much have
wait
the-
for
and hunt 'em
Ruben.
down.
They pretty much
Hey,
have the same numbers.
So, hey, you mentioned, Wentz was doing Mahomes stuff before Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you see this video the Chiefs tweeted out of Mahomes in practice
Oh,
today?
the no-look sideline BB?
Yeah,
that's
I
ridiculous.
love doing that when we play
Wasn't
backyard
that
football.
sick?
I'm a big fan
Did you
of
see
that.
this, Greg?
No.
Watch this pass. I mean, this is pretty incredible. If you guys watching, look up Chiefs reporter on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's funny. Foolish Demon said I was just speaking on his impact and making crazy plays. Hey,
No.
Foolish Demon, we're with you, brother. We're just saying Mahomes, for as young as he is, he's just on a different level.
Wilson's coming at you right now because he
What's
says
that?
Santana's on Seattle. Domingo isn't on the Brewers anymore. Come on, Mike. So he's fired up.
All right, my bad.
It's all right. Calm down, Wills. Matt Hexon, Vlad, Bo, and Biggio is better players in the entire infield of the Phillies.
True.
What did he say? Who was that?
All three of the puppies for Toronto are better than any.
Who was it? Who said it?
Oh, Matt Haxton.
Oh, yeah. No, he's absolutely right.
Mike Scan says, nice hats. Wish I had one.
$20, maybe 25 for you.
I didn't bring them.
I don't work. I don't work for Scans. $30.
I didn't bring it to him yesterday, and that didn't age well for me. Trevor Harris, get Tom and Axe and break down Gabe's office door at Citizens Bank Park. I would do it for the family. I would take as long as you guys got the bail money, I'm in. I'm in.
Hey, Mike, get a certain realty company to sponsor us. You'll get a hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
No, you know what you do? Get your buddy the cop that was just here to give us one of them steel
Oh yeah, we'll break
break that door down.
Yeah, break
Yeah,
through.
steel battering ram.
Yeah, he'll do it with us probably.
Let's go.
Get him. Call him back.
He'll probably do it with us. Quentin Bass. Phillies aren't making the playoffs. As soon as the Eagles starts preseason, Phillies will be a memory. I don't disagree with you now, brother.
No.
Can't disagree.
Actually,
I need games to be real, though.
that actually
I
leads,
need games to be real.
that actually
yeah.
leads to a good question though, and I ask this in all seriousness. If the Phillies do manage to pick it up in August, and September rolls around and they are,
Rolling.
first wild card, second wild card, or they're in the race and they're rolling, does this town really lose interest immediately as soon as the Eagles start playing? Because we all know when the Phillies are right, they carry their fan base. But at the heart of the matter, this is a football town. And with all the buzz that's going on with the Eagles right now, I mean, let's say, game one, they come out and they just straight out roll Washington, which, Dwayne Haskins' first NFL game, that's got like 14 for 34 with 3 picks written all over it.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Wow.
Fletcher Cox, 3 sacks. I mean,
Well, you just pissed off everybody in the state of Ohio.
that's perfectly fine. Some pasty white, fat Ohio State chicks could go bust a Buckeye. I'm a Penn State guy. I don't care. But, I mean, do they lose the fan base though? Seriously. Like if the Birds come out rolling and they completely smoke the Redskins, but the Phils still have it going.
No, then they keep it. They keep their base.
Yeah, because the Eagles are only one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what are you going to watch Monday through Saturday? You know what I mean? Like
Flyers preseason games.
There you go.
Because you're right. If the Phillies are rolling or whatever team is rolling, this city backs it.
Right.
Regardless of the season, right? And you're absolutely right. The Phillies, when they're rolling, they do carry it, and they keep the fan base. And with the NFL being one, or the Eagles being a 1 day a week team, it helped because every other day of the week you can then sit there and watch.
I'll give you guys the day right now to circle on your calendars, and for the fam too, because this goes back to that weird schedule quirk that we talked about a month or so ago with Major League Baseball. Week 2 of the NFL season, Birds are on the road Sunday night at Atlanta. It's the same weekend that the Phillies are off on Friday night, which is completely weird to be off on a Friday night.
Very.
Then they have the Red Sox at home on Saturday and Sunday. They get swept by the Red Sox. The Birds start 2-0 that Sunday night. Forget about
done.
it.
Yep.
Done.
I agree. It's all about how they're playing at the time.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. If they're playing well and they're in the mix, then they'll still get a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. But if they're
But they dropped 2 to the Red Sox, regardless of how they've been playing up to that point. That'll just be doom and gloom.
Oh yeah,
because then their last, I think, 10 out of their last 14 are on the road. Problem.
And they don't play well on the road.
No, not at all.
We've seen that.
Well, just know that when the Eagles go to Lambeau, though, they're taking an L.
It's a Thursday nighter too.
Is it
Yeah.
Thursday nighter? Nice.
Week 4.
Bill Middlebrook excited about the Eagles. Throws out his chant. What's he saying? 9-8-19. Their first stub. We give him the date.
Yep, there you go.
38-17. Let's go. He's already got the score.
I don't think Haskins puts up
That's
17.
amazing. Quint Bass.
Wow, you don't like him at all, do you?
Oh, I actually do like him a lot. I just don't think with that team.
He's better than Trace McSorley.
Oh, he's absolutely better than Trace McSorley. That's not even a question.
There's a lot of people better than
yeah.
Trace McSorley.
I think Trace McSorley could play in the NFL if he's willing to switch to defensive back.
I was at the Senior Bowl. He was easily the worst quarterback there.
He was the worst quarterback on his team.
Yeah, he's not a good quarterback. But I think
just an athlete.
when
That's
you,
all.
when
But
you
he's a
look,
gamer.
here's the bottom line is the Redskins are a dumpster fire. And if they don't hand the ball off 35 times a game to take care of this kid, he's not going to make it through his rookie year. They're going to wind up, they just signed Donald Penn. They're going to wind up trading Trent Williams. Their offensive line is questionable to begin with. I mean, they are a flat-out dumpster fire.
How much do you think Peterson has left in the tank?
I think he another year or two, but not
Yeah.
as a starter.
I think Darius
Darius
Geis
Geis is a starter on that team if he's healthy.
I believe so, too.
I was surprised Peterson was as good as he was last year, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
It shocked me as well.
Me too. He doesn't stop. It's like, he breaks the mold of, the running backs only last.
Until they're 30.
Yeah.
Well,
he broke right through that.
You know what, though? I think we saw the real Adrian Peterson when they played that second game here in early November.
Yeah.
When he had his 10 carries for 90 yards, but he had 1 carry for 80 yards and 9 carries for 10 yards. I think that's what you're going to get out of Adrian Peterson now is you'll get a yard or two a pop, but every now and then he's just going to break off a 30, 40, 50 or longer run.
So fun.
Because he's still got the speed.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's as elusive as he once was.
Fun fact about Barry Sanders, who I consider the greatest NFL running back of all time.
I don't think you'd get much argument.
But he has more runs of 50 yards or more in NFL history. But he also has the most negative career runs in NFL history because all his juking and dancing behind the line to try to make people miss. Every once in a while, he would actually get tackled behind the line. So, yeah, it's kind of funny that the guy who has the most 50-plus yard runs in NFL history also has the most negative
runs for
carries
losses
in NFL history.
Interesting.
It's like taking the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Brian Batty says Penn and Flowers. Wow, that left side of the line is a mess. Barnett going to have a field day in terms of Derek Barnett, and I said he might die.
Well, apparently,
Dwayne Haskins.
Flowers made a false start or something in camp. I was reading a tweet, and Callahan goes, "Get me a new right tackle."
And they did.
Or a right guard,
Yeah,
whatever
get
it was.
me a new guard.
Give me a new guard. And the next guy came in.
And Matt Haxton believes the Raiders are a playoff team. I'm not going to say I disagree with that. We'll see how that shapes up.
I mean, for as much as people want to rip the guy for his shtick on TV, if there's a coach that can turn the Raiders around in 1 year,
It's Gruden.
It's Gruden.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's not even a question.
No, I love
With
him.
his visor backwards.
Love myself some Gruden.
With Antonio Brown? Go with it.
I had fun chatting with Gruden a couple times at the Senior Bowl, and the best thing, in my opinion, that he said to me was when I asked him who is one person not in the Hall of Fame who should be,
Yeah.
and he goes, like, without any hesitation, he goes, well, I'll start with Sterling Sharp. And then he said, best player I ever coached, or no, best receiver I ever coached, best player I ever saw.
I could see that.
Was Sterling Sharp?
Sterling Sharp,
Guy,
yeah.
guy was a physical specimen.
Yeah, if he didn't get hurt. It's
And he
all-
should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I agree.
7 years. Kenny Easley and Gale Sayers are in the Hall of Fame. 7 years.
Doug Staszak.
He should definitely be.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
Doug
Staszak.
Staszak chimes in on, or was that? I'm sorry.
Staszak.
Staszak.
Yeah.
Chimes in onto YouTube and he says, "Baseball, Philly shocked the world. Take the second wild card."
What up, doggy?
Doug, I hope you're right because I don't feel it. There's just too much inconsistency. I don't know.
Reese Hoskins with a walk-off win to win that wild card game. and then Tom goes crazy.
And I'll trade him by October.
Oh, this is awesome. Jalil Harris chimes in, and
What's up, Jalil?
I'm assuming Jalil hasn't followed us on social yet, because Jalil chimes in and he says, "What up, boys? I missed the fuck out of you guys. We're
Yeah,
back.
he probably wasn't. Yeah, when we weren't on YouTube.
We're out of YouTube jail.
Yep, we're out.
F you, NHL."
Yeah, they let us out.
What did you guys do? Share some video or something?
No.
Nothing. They claimed that one of our shows was like copyright infringement.
Yeah,
Okay.
they claim we stole intellectual property.
And it's like, dude, there's a bunch of guys talking. It's our property.
Yeah.
So wake the fuck up.
3 guys sitting around talking hockey is the NHL's intellectual property.
Brian
Oh,
Wilson.
okay.
Here's a stat that will really wrap your head around. Phillies paid $26.7 million for 30 total innings of Robertson, Neshek, and Hunter.
That's brutal.
Yep. Wow.
And they probably will never have any of them in a Phillies uniform ever again. So
Robertson's-
that money's gone.
Robertson's news is cute to come out today too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you want to go out and do absolutely nothing to upgrade your bullpen or your staff.
And then at 3:30.
And at 3:30, it's like, oh, Robertson's getting shut down for the season. Oh, good timing. Guys, stay hot over there.
Because it's one of those things where you're like, all right, fine. You're not going to make a move because Sir Anthony's on his way back, Robertson's on his way back, and this is all going to happen very quickly.
What did the guy say on Facebook? One of the comments on Facebook, the Phillies are a 500 team without McCutchen. Well, you can see right now on the TV screen, 9-8 since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Just an average.
And again,
team.
you played the Pirates,
Inconsistent.
the Tigers, and now the Giants in like 10 of those games.
It's the definition of the player you signed. It's the definition of it. It's an inconsistent player and an inconsistent lineup, inconsistent pitching staff, inconsistent bullpen, a moron coach, and you get a 500 baseball team. Okay, it's real simple. There's still talent here, just not coming together. So when you don't mesh, it doesn't look like there's anything meshing here. Who's that on? That's on my GM who went out and got the players he got. That's on my coach because he's clueless. So I mean, you're left with what you got. You hope that like Harper goes off. This team's record when they score 5 or more runs is ridiculous. How good they are when they score 5 or more runs. They don't though.
Well,
That's the problem.
You know where I stand on that whole thing.
They don't.
To me, I'd be perfectly fine if John Middleton just cleared house. McPhail, Clentac, Gabe, all gone. Start over.
Start it now.
I went out and paid $330 million for a superstar, and you guys don't know how to get the most out of them. So I'm starting over.
And
again.
we don't make the playoffs. Like, I don't think anybody should have their job after this year if this team doesn't make the playoffs. That's underachieving on everybody. Because in April and May, we were talking about this team winning a division and how far they fell from that. Who's that on?
Bigger than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a collapse.
After they bring in guys who have been named National League MVP, like Bryce Harper and Andrew McCutchen, this was a World Series team.
No, absolutely.
Everybody thought when the season started.
They played.
It was World Series or bust.
They played better into September last year with less talent than they're playing right now. Now, granted, last year September was a massive collapse, but they played into September still with that shot. And right now, I don't even look at him as having a shot.
No, you're right. Mike, listen to this, and Will says it, and we've been talking about this. Almost every guy is having a down year.
Yeah.
That's on coaching. And we talked about this a couple of weeks before. If every one of my players is having down years to their career numbers, who does that become on? My hitting coach, my pitching coach, my head coach? It's simple. Somebody should have got fired after the second Braves game on Saturday night. The fact that nobody, not even a fucking equipment manager, you understand me? Nobody lost their job. Like, what is it, the Flyers? Like, nobody loses their job. They get, oh, we're going to give you a raise.
Oh, that's great.
You're terrible at what you do, Mr. Holmgren, but we're going to continue to give you beautiful offices with great views.
Speaking of which.
Grow up.
Speaking of which, I see a picture on Twitter today of Bill Barber and Craig Berube because the Flyers threw a celebration at Xfinity Live this afternoon for Craig Berube winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh, my God.
This Flyers family is fucking incestuous.
Yeah.
They are horrible. They are horrible. I want to know who had the dirty pictures of Ed Snyder's whoever, why they didn't go into the grave with him, and who spread them throughout the rest of the organization. Because everybody's got them. Everybody's got them.
There isn't an organization in sports that has more blind loyalty than the Philadelphia Flyers.
They're incestuous. They're literally incestuous.
They should be down south somewhere. It should be in Bama, where it's cool to sleep with your cousins. Okay? That's where they should be.
By the way,
Middle of nowhere.
at some point next week, I'm not sure of the day, but I heard from a little birdie.
I thought you said you're going to be in Alabama.
No. I heard from a little birdie back in St. Louis that Craig Berube will have the Stanley Cup in Philadelphia next week.
Oh, wow.
At some point.
Of course, we're going to have a goddamn fake parade.
Well, see,
I'm about to start throwing shit now.
But Ron, this is how it
That's what
works
we
around
became.
here. Because guys are here, whether it's a coach or players, and they go elsewhere and win the Stanley Cup, and then they bring it back and they take it to the beach or the bar or the stadium or whatever the case may be.
Well, you know that Stanley Cup is going to end up at Jack's NYB.
It just gets rubbed in.
Philly's own St. Louis Blues bar now.
John Stevens used to take that thing to the beach with him.
So did Carter Richards.
And let people come over and take sips of beer out of it. It's unbelievable what happens around here.
Yeah, Carter Richards had it down at the OD.
Yeah, it's absolutely unreal.
I love the fact that since January there's a bar in Philadelphia that has become the St. Louis Blues bar. I think it's awesome.
No, that's cool. Nobody wants to blow their cousin more than the
Robbie. I was including that when I said the bar.
Could
be a topless bar.
That comment, by the way.
Could be a nude bar, but it's a bar.
No, well, they probably love the nude bar with all their cousins and family members in there. It's right up freaking Holmgren's alley. I don't even talk about the Flyers. I'll lose my mind.
All right, we're done. Done with the orange and the black.
Matt Haxton, off topic, but we love it because we'll answer it. Ben Simmons will make more or less than 10 3-point shots this upcoming season.
Less. He won't even attempt 10 threes. Ooh. But he will knock down jumpers.
Greg?
I want to go more.
Dude, the mid-range jumper, it's going to be more. The mid-range jumper is dead in the NBA.
It is. It's sad, too, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Monte Ellis used to kill the mid-range game.
Look, baby steps.
It's
get him out to 16 feet this year.
Leave a ball
We'll worry about the threes next year.
If you're not a splash brother, you're hanging above the rim and you're dunking. That's what the NBA is. It's threes and it's dunks and like nothing in between.
But this is the whole thing.
It's terrible.
You're right. But at 6'11", he should be at the rim at will. And he's not. And if he's not, he's got to develop the mid-range game because he's definitely afraid to shoot a three.
I think he does because what I've seen in videos is he's got that confidence back to shoot it now. And I think that's all he was really missing was the thinking about it. Now I see him making fadeaways.
Yeah.
Like, if you're making fadeaways, Dad, you better be able to hit 10 more threes down this year.
We're talking about practice.
That's it. He said he's going to work on his whole game.
He doesn't even take 10 threes. I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm not going to say you're wrong because the body of work tells you that you're 100% spot on. I just think he got it out of his head. And with so much pressure about him shooting, I think that he knows if he can shoot a little bit, that he could become the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Because all he needs to do is shoot enough.
Because you can
Hey,
still
there's
see
a guy in
those
Milwaukee
videos.
who is probably the best player in the league.
No, he is, but I'll tell you who will be better if he can shoot a little bit. Ben, because he can do more. He'll be better than the freak because of his ball handling skills, his ability, his vision, his ability to dish. If he can knock down enough threes, the freak's a freak, obviously, and he developed his jumper because he didn't have that early on, and he actually is getting better and better. And then I saw a video of him and Corver. We're talking about his jumper. I said, "Oh my God, this guy's going to shoot 60% now from three. He might not miss all year." Him and Corver are talking. I said, "We're screwed." You know what I mean? He's going to drop 50 this year.
So
but
we got.
no, I mean to me, the Sixers and Milwaukee are the two best teams in the East, and it'll go from there. Yeah, I think both teams represent in the Eastern Conference Finals.
So 5 minutes until break. Biggest winners and losers at the trade deadline.
Well, to me, I like what San Diego did. I mean, they got younger. They got a good piece back. Let me see.
Taylor Trammell.
Yeah, I like Taylor. I was watching him swing today because I follow Baseball America and a bunch of that stuff, which and USA Baseball and stuff like that. But I was watching him swing, and it's effortless. It's clean from the left side. Greg was watching a little bit of it. I like the kid a lot. I think that's a smart move for them. Obviously, they're a smaller market, and they're already a good baseball team, and they just keep adding pieces.
Well, it says a lot about that kid, too, if they're willing to trade Reyes, who's, at this point, a 20-plus home run guy in his sleep.
Yeah.
That they're willing to give him up to get this kid.
Yeah,
I believe he was a top 5 prospect for the Reds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he was. He's a pimp. Yeah.
But I think Cleveland's a winner at the deadline too. I think what Cleveland did, you gave up you gave up Bauer, but you got Puig back, you got Reyes back, and then you went and got 2 left-handed pitchers in Logan Allen and Scott Moses, and another infielder in Victor Nova. I mean, I think what you got back was a haul.
And Moses was one of Cincinnati's top arm.
And obviously there was issues in Cleveland with Bauer, and you could see Francona's little bit of frustration.
Yeah.
And I think that was the writing on the wall that this guy isn't going to stay anyway. We're gonna have to move away from him, and they did. And they got a ton back.
I don't disagree with you. I'm going to go in a bit of a different direction. I think the Astros got the best player out of any trade that was made at the on or before the deadline. So I'm going Houston just on the strength of Greinke.
Yeah, and now Greinke can hit, sure, but you add Greinke to that pitching rotation. Plus, he's now in the AL where he doesn't have to hit.
Right.
I mean, the Astros are probably the biggest winner to me because now they've got a pitching rotation to match their hitting lineup.
Yeah. Well, the big winner is I got a little quick on Cleveland there. My big winner is actually New York Mets. I think the New York Mets are the biggest winner at the trade deadline.
Because of Stroman?
Because of Stroman and what else did they do? They did something else, didn't they?
They kept Thor and Wheeler.
Yeah, I mean,
Got rid of Vargas.
I think what they
got
did.
rid of Vargas.
I think what they did with Stroman to add him to that rotation, which is already a loaded up rotation. I think moving forward, and it might not pan out for them this year, but I think coming in next year with that young team they already have, I think they're a scary, scary baseball team. I think they went out and said, we're not getting rid of Syndergaard. We're not getting rid of Wheeler. We're going to have the best pitching staff in the NL. And I think that's what they're building themselves up to. That's a team that I'm scared of. And there's a lot of teams in this goddamn division, the NL East, that are starting to scare me. And that's another one. I think they're a winner because Houston's already a winner to me. Even without Greinke, we know where they're going. Yeah. Right? To me, they're going to the World Series. They're going to represent the AL because they pitch and they hit. The Yankees can hit. They're pitching. Red Sox can hit. Bullpen. Right? So, I mean, they have holes. Houston doesn't have it.
Are you surprised that the
zero holes. Even without Greinke, 0 holes.
Are you surprised that the Yankees kind of sat on their hands?
Well, I was going to say that's actually my biggest loser.
Yep.
I mean, they have Herman, who's coming up on an innings restriction, who may not get through the regular season, let alone into the playoffs. and they let Greinke go to Houston. They let Stroman go to the Yankees, or the Mets, I'm sorry. I mean, Ron, to your point, they basically sat on their hands. To me, are they a good ball club? Yeah, they're a damn good ball club. They're the biggest loser to me at the trade deadline.
I'll throw in another winner. I'm not just saying this isn't just a homer pick, but I like what the Brewers did. Even though they traded Jesus Aguilar, they got 3 arms.
Yeah, I mean, you lose one bat for 3 arms in a lineup that's already stacked.
Yeah,
you're
no
fine.
brainer.
So
you're absolutely fine.
And that's why you said that you think the Cubs are going to win the Central. I think the Brewers are now the team that'll jump over the Cardinals and the Cubs and win the NL Central.
No, I think if Kimbrel figures it out, and now you got Castellanos hitting in a hitter's ballpark.
Not Comerica.
Yeah, I mean, and we were talking about this last week or the week before with Castellanos just basically saying, I am not coming back to Detroit because I hit bombs that get caught 3 feet in front of the wall. Now he's going to Wrigley at this time of year when the wind tends to blow out more than it blows in. He could hit 10 to 15 more home runs before the end of the season.
Well, Wrigley does blow.
It does.
My 2 losers are the Cubs. Okay.
Even with Castellanos?
Yeah, I just think they're a loser. I hate the Cubs.
Okay.
That's all. That's all.
Pandering to the guest.
Well, they've been underachieving all year, so I'm going to continue to go with they're going to underachieve because I don't think that was their biggest need. You know what I mean?
I think they're mad scientist of a manager. It's finally caught up with them.
I think that too, and I think more of their issue is honestly their rotation and their bullpen. Yeah. You know, more so than their lineup. So again, they went out and got a move. I love Nick. He's flat out baller, but like okay, it makes your lineup a little better, but you can't pitch enough. You know what I mean? I think that's what teams are missing. Like you got to be able to throw enough. You got to be able to get some outs. You know what I mean? Like I understand if you score 0, you lose. I get that. Okay, but you need a bullpen. You need starters, and I think there's too many teams that just run out slop. And I think the Cubs are one. I'm not in love with their rotation, right? I'm definitely not in love with their pen. I think they have major holes there that they didn't address. And Theo Epstein's better than that. With the amount of prospects they have, the fact that they didn't address their biggest needs, to me, is a loser. Yankees, another loser, because the fact that you didn't address your rotation
with all the prospects they have,
with everything you can give up is mind-boggling. That's 2 organizations with a ton of prospects that got. We know the Yankees are already good, but the Cubs, how much better did they get today? Yeah. Did they get that much better? No, that doesn't make them jump anybody.
The Yankees could have put together a package with Clint Frazier as the centerpiece and landed themselves.
Who'd the Cubs get?
A number 2 guy in the rotation. Probably, yeah.
I'll tell you what, the
Giants. Or at worst, Matthew Boyd.
What bullpen help did the Cubs get?
Well, they signed Kimbrel a couple weeks ago.
I know. Yeah, I get that. But we're just talking deadline. Trevor Harris says, and Cubs got bullpen help.
I'll find it.
No, they got rid of Carl Edwards.
Keep talking. I'll find it.
They got rid of Carl Edwards in the Castellanos deal, correct? Did Edwards go in that deal?
Mike's going to pull him.
I'll pull it up.
While he's doing that, my winner is going to be the Atlanta Braves.
That's a great name. Clay's right there with you, obviously.
You know, adding the best reliever on the market to a bullpen that needs a top guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that just solidifies it right there. And then they added other pieces, too. They didn't just stop at Shane Green. You added Trevor. It was but you added Mark Melanson. And, you know, he's another guy, veteran guy that's gotten outs in big spots.
Yeah, we can't get outs.
Well, let's go back to Houston for a second because they got Greinke. They also added Aaron Sanchez, Joe Biagini, and Cal Stevenson from Toronto, and all they gave up was Derek Fisher. The Cubs.
Hold on, Doug says baseball.
Wait, the Lakers?
Cubs.
Great. Derek Fisher?
Cubs acquired left-handed reliever Brad Wick from San Diego for Carl Edwards. They got Castellanos from the Tigers for Alec Lang and Paul Richon, who I've never heard of either.
Yeah. Zeal Jones says, definitely need a shirt. Hit me up, brother. Hit me up, and we'll get them out to you. Haka Dola says, will the Bravos challenge the Dodgers now?
They also
yes.
I don't know if they're going to challenge
the Braves.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Slightly underrated move for the Cubs. They got Tony Kemp from the Astros from Martin Maldonado. Yeah. I like Tony Kemp.
Maybe my hatred for the Cubs came in on the the loser, but I still think they're a loser.
Acquired right-handed reliever David Phelps from Toronto for Thomas Hatch.
They were average moves. They're just guys. That's all they did. They went to the trash can too, like the Phillies did.
Yeah.
You know, besides Castellanos, the Cubs really went to the trash can.
Left-handed pitcher, swingman, starter or reliever Derek Holland, and Cash from the Giants.
Yep, they're living in the trash pile.
That's
Theo's digging through.
that guy. That team right there is my loser. Is the Giants. You had two huge pieces
And didn't move either.
and
of them.
didn't move either of them.
Didn't they move Pilar though?
No,
No.
Pilar just homered off of Morgan.
That's what I got the
About
alert
400.
for. I got an alert about Pilar, and it was actually the bomb. Sorry,
But
it's on me.
But yeah, you didn't trade Mad Bum, and maybe you didn't get Frazier from the Yankees, but you're going to let him walk, or you're going to re-sign him to buttloads of money when he's not worth it at the time, and then you hung on to Will Smith
Kyle.
at a time when
Sorry, can I cut you off for 1 second? Just so I
It's
can
Kyle, go ahead.
Take the bet. Let me tell you something right now. I will bet you that the Yankees don't go to the World Series. How much you want to wager again and lose? We did it last year. You lost. I'm willing to take the bet again. Again. Okay? Double or nothing for you. So you're going to pay me double what you did last year, or you owe nothing, which means I'll have to give you money back because you already paid for last year, I think. I think that's how that would work.
I think
Robbie says that I guess the Jesus Aguilar deal, is that correct? Relieves a logjam at first base since Marcus Thames has been raking this year.
Yeah.
Eric Marcus. Who's Marcus Thames? He's a football player.
yeah.
Doug says, Stalsic says, Bishop uses Zach Gowen, goes from Marlins to D-backs
Yep.
to fill Grinky hole. Doug, we're sending out
It was
Zach A2D gear that he's going to be rocking. So our first big leaguer rocking A2D gear will be Zach Gowen. So Bishop uses
Giddy
own.
up.
Thanks, Sweepsy.
Thanks, Brother
That's an
Sweeps.
Uncle Sweeps grab.
Yeah, I was going to get that out today, and good thing I didn't because he got traded.
Yeah, we had the whole, we had his info to send it to Marlins Park or whatever, and we were going to do it today, and then literally he got traded, and we're like, glad we didn't ship that.
Where did he get traded?
Arizona. Yeah. I love that move for Arizona, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Marlins are doing. I don't know why the Marlins would move them.
Shipping's going to be more now, though.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
make
okay.
that doesn't make sense. Why?
It's
why
a
are they?
dry heat.
Why are they in the business? Why are they in the business of moving a puppy?
I don't know.
I don't know what.
But they
they're
got a
doing.
shortstop back, so maybe it was that. Maybe they were like
Jeter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
they were dressing like they had a lot of young arms, and maybe they were able to get a shortstop back that they didn't have.
because they're just loaded up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, Alfaro's numbers are so similar to JT Realmuto's, it'll make you throw up because Quintat got freaking held over the coals and bent the hell over again. Okay, while his hands are burning on the coals. You understand me? He got flat out bent over again on this deal. The fact that you had to give up both, who I don't really care about Sixto at all.
He'll never pitch a day in
'cause
the
he stinks.
majors.
But the fact that two guys are still in that deal when the one guy was already pro ready,
His name's Scooter.
you didn't have to give up two.
Alfaro's hurt again,
Because Sixto could have got dealt to somebody else, is my
and
point.
he's got 10 times as many strikeouts as he does walks.
That's fine. Then it could be that.
He's just one of your kids.
No,
he's
that-
one of your kids.
it could be that
He's
deal.
one of your kids.
He wanted
Listen,
JP
stop
back
it.
earlier too.
Hey, I wanted JP back too. You get off it, problem.
Let me say something.
You can
All
say
I'm
it.
saying is Realmuto could have been swapped straight up for Alfaro.
That's
okay?
correct. That
and
is
then
correct.
Sixto could have been in a goddamn deal at the deadline now. That's my point.
That's accurate.
That's my point.
That's accurate.
Not that I always said that they had to make that trade. I always say that. But you didn't need to go 2 for 1 because the one's already proven pro ready. Assholes. Okay? And he's young. He didn't need to go 2.
I didn't think he was proven pro.
Shut
ready.
the hell up. He batted 283 his first year.
He did not bat 283.
His first year he did up at the big club.
How many at bats?
I don't care. It says 283.
Yeah, 4 bats.
No, it's got to be more than 4.
That's actually mathematically impossible.
I know.
I know, I
that
know,
was
I know.
that's the joke, Ron.
Okay, all right.
Thanks,
all
Ron.
right, all right.
Because I had no clue. I was agreeing.
All
I was
right,
like, I guess he did only do 4. I was like, yeah, Mike got me.
We're late. Get us to break.
Oh, I want me to see his at bats.
Oh, come on.
107.
Yeah, great sample.
Okay,
What did he hit?
318.
In 107 at bats?
Yep, his first year.
That's actually pretty good.
And he had 5 homers, and he batted 262 last year
Who the hell are we talking
with 10
about?
homers and 377 at bats.
George.
And now,
All right.
and now he's
Alfaro.
batting
All
264 this year with 11 homers in a bigger park, 9 doubles. So, you know what I mean? And he's drove in 35 RBIs. Well, they're not driving anybody down there.
101 strikeouts to 9 walks.
No, I know he's going to strike
That's
out a lot.
brutal.
No, listen, I don't disagree with you. They only had to do a 2-for-1, though. They didn't have to give up both.
That's fair.
Which means
fair.
Which means you could have put this kid in a deal. We got to go to break, but you could have put that kid in a deal. Freaking Sixto stinks, and maybe got something back at the deadline. We get Corey Dickerson. Oh, my. Adam Hazley's a pimp, okay? So Hazley better not be coming out of the lineup, period. Okay? If Corey Dickerson plays a game over Adam Hazley, I'm driving down to Citizens Bank Park, too. Okay? I'm tired of the babying over puppies.
Well,
Nobody else babies or puppies. The Braves say, go, boys. Go fucking mash everybody.
Well, here's the piece you'll be excited about, though. We were talking about Hazley.
Yeah.
So he got off to that 1-for-7 start in San Diego, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Went on the IL, comes off the IL. He's hitting .291 since he came off the IL.
I'm telling you.
Kid better not sit.
Well,
I'm
you
telling
can tell, and I know we're getting
I like
ready to
Corey.
go.
Corey hits, but
Hazley should be playing center field.
Oh, he's got a hose.
Hazley should be at center, and Scotty should be at third.
I watched him make
Mike,
two throws on Friday
he's
night.
Got a quiet arm. Like
He
you
does.
know what I mean? Like he
but
sneaks up on you.
I
You can tell
watched
the
him
game's
make.
starting to slow down for him.
Yeah, but I watched him make two throws from the outfield on Friday night, and I was just like, wow, that's your former pitcher in college right there. He had one that was a fly ball to the warning track in left center with a runner on second. Runner went back to tag. Hosley just uncorked a bomb, straight out P to third base. Runner wound up going about a third of the way, turned around and went back.
Yeah.
And then there was another one later in the game, fly ball to left, runner on third, and runner goes back to tag up. He catches the ball, fires home, and they don't even challenge the arm at that point.
Wow.
It's just the hose is there on him, without a doubt.
You know what really bugs me about baseball today, and you kind of brought it up with Hoskins earlier. He's always trying to hit a home run. I mean, you mentioned 101 strikeouts
To 9 walks.
9 walks.
To 9 walks.
Launch angle.
You know how many times Red Shandy's struck out more than 50 times in a season?
Never.
0. I mean, dude, hitting is just a lost art. Everybody, sure, chicks dig the long ball, but you know what? People appreciate the small ball too, guys.
You can make a lot of money if you hit 350 every year.
I love myself some small ball, so
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right, let's hit the break. On the other side, Ron's going to talk about his book, everything they do over at Home Run on Wheels. So we'll have that on the second half, and we'll get into Eagles training camp.
Sounds
All
good.
that and whatever the hell you want on the other side. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
ATD Radio. Thank you to our sponsor every Wednesday, Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com, as well as our doc, Make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. See you on the other side.
I miss Tony.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
Tom and Mike, AM and the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues and expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional sports. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
See one of them shirts over there?
So what you're saying is now I have to get off the microphone,
Yeah.
put the baseball down.
Now you can hold the baseball.
All right. Here you go, Ron.
Don't touch my baseball.
This is me getting off the
Don't
microphone.
touch my baseball.
I just wanted the baseball so I could throw it at him when he gets over there.
I see if we can roll a double play here. Roll it. Oh, okay, Dad. Okay. Family just join us.
I would have hit the crow hop after the runner slid, but I got flip flops on, so
We got merch, fam. Just hit me up. Little A2D. No notes. Obviously, you can tell the hats too. We'll have hoodies coming in the wintertime. I know I've already got a bunch of calls and texts about the hoodie game. That's coming. It's going to continue to come. We're going to mix it up and switch it up and bring not different looks, but different little phrases on the back. Maybe we'll go best in the business on some. We'll keep mixing it up.
maybe in the spring we'll go yellow with the black logo,
Yeah, we'll
something,
just change it up. We'll keep it fresh for you. Keep you coming back. So that's our gear.
Get some tanks.
Thomas Arnone. You can find me on all social medias.
Sun's out, guns
Tanks,
out.
tanksforfatguys.com.
Thanks for fat guys. Tom,
Mike
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio.
Too.
Listen, let me tell you something right now. If you ever wore a tank top in this little surrounding,
Oh, I'm already out the door anyway.
yeah, just to confirm.
Yeah,
But-
I'm already
but
out the door.
Better roll an entire
The
can of
bag- the
Axe
bags
under
are-
those arms
the bags are
too.
packed. I'm heading to Florida.
Listen, we already had tank top gate on here.
Oh, no, Robbie, that is not a tank. That's cut off. That's
Yeah.
acceptable.
That's cut off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're behind the glass. You're
If
fine.
you can see top and side of man boob, no. Side boob, somewhat acceptable. If you start getting top and side, yeah, no.
Listen, if you guys want tank tops, tune in Tuesday. All right, Tuesday we'll get you all your tank tops.
Why, Chucks and Chrome?
Oh, I don't. I mean, the two guys that aren't built well. Calm down, you two. All right, you act like you're still in
Well, I got a
senior
leg-
year of high school.
I got a
walking
leg
around.
heavier than Chrome, so
I said, Crumb, you're doing a video while we're live. He goes, yeah, I think he said I'm a little tipsy. And I said, yeah, well, I assume.
Shocker.
I assumed that. I didn't want to be the guy to say it.
Chrome's in Florida. I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah, I'm a little tipsy.
Shocker. I would like to know which part of his trip he hasn't been a little tipsy.
0. I'm taking.
0%.
I'm going over. Is it possible?
0.0.
Is it possible to go over, like an over-under on how many days? And I say over because somehow he managed to drink like 17 days worth of alcohol in 14 days.
I think you need to drop it from days to hours.
Yeah, he definitely hasn't stopped. If you're just joining us, we started our show off. We ran through, obviously, our MLB trade analysis. We talked about the Phillies deadline deal and some slop before that. And, winners and losers at the deadline. And, our poll question was the Phillies are a playoff team. Do you agree or disagree? And, Rob, I'm sure you can pull up the stats on that, on the voting, like the percentage on where it stands there. But I would guess, if I had to guess right now.
Well, they went 0 for this room.
That it was a disagree of around 75%, if I had to guess. I would say about 25% maybe agreed. And that's homer talk. You know what I mean? That's the guys that are freaking, they stick their feet into the ground, they don't move them.
You didn't even agree.
No, I can't anymore.
And
what does that mean, by the way?
No, I'm just saying you
What does that mean?
normally take the role of believing in your team.
Yeah, yes, you're right. I just don't want that to be considered homerism.
I didn't say the H word.
I know you didn't, but I'm just people will
I'm
out there.
just saying you normally, especially when Mike and I disagree, you especially go.
Oh yeah,
the
this
other
time I
way
can't.
just to make sure.
No, you're 100% spot on, and this time I can't.
Usually, yeah.
Relax, Bob. Bob Mannery claims otherwise. Okay, and Bob's the goat. So Bob says you're an issue. Enjoy being an issue. I don't even know what that means. I was hoping this guy threw some goddamn strikes.
Wait, voting has ended. Okay, great. Voting has ended. Show me the stats.
Oh, you didn't have to end it.
I didn't end it.
No.
I mean, unless it's maybe just not letting me vote anymore because I already voted once. Who knows?
I don't know.
Forget about it.
Not a big deal. Ron, We have Ron Clements, Home Run on Wheels. Ron, tell everybody a little bit about what you do, what you've been doing, and your new book coming out.
All right, will do. Well, I met you last year in San Diego at an RV park because
Stands for whale's vagina.
because my wife and I, in March of last year, we were living in Charlotte, and we had just purchased an RV with the intent of going to all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums in a single season. And we did that. By the time I met you, right around this time of year last year, it was like August 10th, 11th, somewhere around in there. We were seeing the Padres, and we only had, Phoenix, Houston, Arlington. So we had 6 stadiums left. So that was like 24 was Petco Park. And so we ended up going to all 30 stadiums in one season, traveling in our RV. We put on 15,000 miles in 7 months. But we also had a charity mission.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a haul.
Yeah. Now we're up to over 18,000 miles on the RV. And we've been through, since we left Charlotte March of last year, we have now been through 44 states and 2 Canadian provinces.
That's awesome.
So just to kind of remind the family, you don't actually have a home right now. That's correct,
No,
right?
correct. We have
you live out of the RV.
Yeah, we have a storage unit in St. Louis.
Nice.
And that's it.
Pretty centrally located.
Right. Well,
St. Louis
we used to.
just did something pretty big, right?
Yeah, I know. LGB, Play Gloria. Which started here in Philly, which is awesome. Anyway, yeah, we don't have a house. We used to live in St. Louis, which is why we got the storage unit there. But the other part about our trip is that we actually had a foster care charity mission behind our trip to help kids in the foster system and to hopefully inspire people to get involved. We partnered with a foster care organization in North Carolina called Children's Hope Alliance. Through them, we reached out to we got the Children's Hope Alliance logo on the side of our RV, which you saw, Tom, and which is why your dad was all like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Yeah,
and so it also got the home.
Because he don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We also have the Home Run on Wheels logo on the back side of the RV, but
it's really cool, fam. You gotta check it out.
But yeah, it's a bunch of pictures on our website, homerunonwheels.com, as well as the Facebook page and my Twitter account, Ron_Clements, which is CLEMENTS. And then we got an Instagram account that my wife runs. We just started a YouTube channel this year. I wish we should have had it last year. My dad told me like all of last year, you got to have video, you got to have YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, we're doing a podcast twice a week, and I'm writing this book. And it was a lot, and I'm trying to reach out to foster care organizations and try to set stuff up, and we were successful with that in 6 cities. We got foster kids out to games in Miami for opening day, which was awesome.
That's great.
Very cool.
The Marlins donated 40 tickets to Our Kids of Miami Dade, and remember these numbers, okay? Marlins donated 40 tickets. We got 20 tickets from the Greensboro Grasshoppers and 60 tickets from the Durham Bulls when we were going through North Carolina.
Durham Bulls, that's awesome.
Because the organization we partnered with, Children's Hope Alliance, operates in North Carolina. Obviously, there are no Major League Baseball teams there, so we wanted to do something with them. So, again, 20 tickets from the Grasshoppers in Greensboro, 60 tickets the next night from the Durham Bulls. That was like April 5th of last year, and then April 8th we were seeing the Nationals. But Major League teams, Miami, 20 tickets from the Detroit Tigers, 50 from the Milwaukee Brewers, 30 from the Minnesota Twins, 30 from the Colorado Rockies, and then we got 20 tickets for one game in St. Louis, and then 30 tickets for another game in St. Louis. The Cardinals actually did not donate those tickets, so we had to get those. The United Way came through with the 20 tickets, and then my wife and I we used GoFundMe to raise $700 last year to get tickets to a Sunday afternoon game against the Giants. And we purchased 30 tickets. We donated those tickets to the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition in St. Louis. So Miami, Detroit, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Denver, and St. Louis, we were able to get foster kids out to games. And remember those? So 20 tickets here, 30 tickets here. Well, last Monday, July 22nd, the Pittsburgh, because we're kind of doing it again this year. Mm-hmm. The Pittsburgh Pirates donated 200 tickets.
What? That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
To Bethany.
Great job by the Buccos.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I thought all those numbers were not low, but my issue is Where are all the other teams?
Well, so in cities like New York and Los Angeles, I emailed the teams to be like, hey, can you help me try to identify a foster care organization here to kind of help us out so we can get kids out to a Yankees game? The Yankees replied to my email with a phone call, which was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talked to there were two different guys on the line, and they basically told me, hey, look, I appreciate what you guys are doing, but we already do a lot in our community. We give away tickets for almost every game, almost every event at Yankee Stadium. So I was like, all right. And then the Angels also replied with a phone call to my email and essentially said the same thing.
Okay.
The Dodgers, I thought we were going to work something out there, but then it just didn't happen. In Arlington, we thought we had something lined up with an organization there, but then I get an email 3 weeks out. Like, this organization had committed in March. Hey, we're going to do something in Arlington with you guys. Awesome. And I kind of let it go until August. And then I get an email 3 weeks out that say, we had a leadership change, a significant leadership change, they said. We can't handle the bandwidth now to do this. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. So, we were hoping to do it in other cities. And in Cincinnati, we thought we had something lined up. Here in Philadelphia, we thought we had something lined up. And just scheduling things just didn't work out with the organization already had something going on. It was funny. In Seattle, I reached out to a couple of organizations, and one said it was like 3-4 weeks out. And one organization was like, well, we don't have enough time to vet families to get the right kids out to games and stuff. And because there are some kids in the foster system who can't handle an atmosphere like a Major League Baseball game. So they wanted to make sure they had the right kids with the right families out. So I understood that. But then the other organization in Seattle was like, oh, you're going to be here when? July 20th? We already have something planned that weekend. We're doing an event with Pearl Jam. And I'm like, fair enough.
Okay. Kind of hard to compete with Pearl Jam.
Yeah. So, but six cities last year, and then with the Pirates this year, donating 200 tickets to Bethany Christian Services. That was great. And then we're going down to Washington, D.C. Well, technically we'll be seeing in Maryland, but we're going down there. The Nationals have donated 60 tickets to 2 different foster care organizations. So you got Lutheran Social Services National Capital Area, as well as the Family and Youth Initiative for games on August 16th and August 18th. The Nationals just happened to be playing my Brewers during that weekend, which is great for me.
It just happened to be?
We
did you set those dates up?
No, not at all. And the Nationals set those dates as far as the donations go. And we're ecstatic about that. And you mentioned the book, Tom. The book is called Home Run on Wheels, as well as our podcast, Home Run on Wheels. The website is homerunonwheels.com, and it's all about branding, right? Home Run on Wheels, right?
Yeah.
I should have had more Home Run on Wheels T-shirts printed up. I could have brought you guys. But, but anyway, I'm doing a book signing in D.C. on August 13th at a bookstore in Arlington, Virginia called Busboys and Poets. Pretty excited about that. We're asking people to bring items. Do you have D.C. viewers and listeners?
Yeah, we got
it. Everywhere.
Okay,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you're in Arlington, Virginia, they're asking to this event on August 13th is co-hosted by Lutheran Social Services National Capital Area, and they are asking people who come out to the book signing to bring items to donate. What they really need is toiletry items for their kids.
Yep.
And so that's what they're asking for. But gift cards like Target and Walmart are always good too. And yeah, hopefully buy a book. I'm going to be part of a Q&A panel with 2 people from LSS NCA. They really want to talk about the work they do with refugees. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of don't know what to expect. My biggest fear is that I'm going to get there and there's going to be nobody there.
Well, before you go any further, just so the family has an understanding here, you're not just a guy who happens to like baseball who's on a mission. I mean, tell us a little bit about your background and what you did to get to this point.
All right. So, when I was in the Marine Corps when I first started going into sports journalism. I was down in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune, so Jacksonville's right there.
Okay.
And in 1999, in the fall of '99, I walked into the Jacksonville Daily News and said, "Hey, can I talk to the sports reporter or the sports editor?" His name was Paul Thompson, I think his last name was. I know it's Paul, but anyway. Paul, I asked if he needed any help covering high school sports. I wanted to be a sports writer, and so sure. So for like a year, I answered the phone, taken from coaches who would call in their games. You know, I'd write up the box score, and then, you know, the little prep roundup. Yeah, with no byline. Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah, for like a year, I did that, and then they finally sent me out to cover a game in Jacksonville. It was a minor league soccer game of all things. It was Charlotte against Wilmington. The Charlotte Sharks and the Wilmington Hammerheads, and they were playing a game at Jacksonville High School in North Carolina, and so I went out and covered that. But then when I got out of the Marine Corps, I had a job lined up in New Bern. Went up to Martinsville, Virginia. I graduated from East Carolina, so go Pirates. But yeah, I'm actually wearing my ECU stuff. I got my phone here.
There you go.
But anyway, you got to always represent the alma mater. Right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I kind of got a break after I graduated from ECU, though, in 2006, when I moved to St. Louis. And in 2009, I got an opportunity to start covering the Rams. And so I've been covering the NFL ever since. In fact, when we're down in the D.C. area, I'm going to check out Redskins training camp. But I last worked at Sporting News. And in 2017, my wife got a job. She works in IT. And she got a job with Wells Fargo. It was 100% remote.
Wow.
And so in July of 2017, and we had just gotten married. We got married in March of 2017. She started this job in May. And in July, she was like, I could do this anywhere. What do you think about taking a trip? And I was like, all right, what do you have in mind? And we were just kicking around ideas, and we settled on a baseball trip. And so then a couple weeks later, when we had already decided, yeah, screw it, let's do it. We'll buy an RV, we'll just go. And we had dinner with a friend of ours named Celeste Dominguez. And she is the CEO of Children's Hope Alliance.
Okay.
And so when we told Celeste what we had planned for 2018, the light bulb went on. And Celeste was like, it'd be really cool if you could get some kids out to baseball games while you're doing this. And it was like, oh my God, yeah, how can we make that happen?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's how that partnership and our mission, like people have asked me, are you a foster parent? And it was like, no, 2 years ago I had zero connection to foster
You're like, no,
parent.
2 years ago I was covering the Rams, and then they moved to L.A.
And, well, hey, still too soon.
Gosh!
I didn't want to be the one to say it.
But
So they moved to L.A. and I bought an RV. Forget about it.
yeah. Well, I moved to Charlotte in 2014, so it was all good. But and then in March of 2018, March 6th was my last day at Sporting News. I quit my job to do this baseball trip, knowing we were going to do a podcast twice a week, and my wife has been super supportive. And heck, the baseball thing was her idea, actually.
That's great. That's really
it's
cool.
fantastic.
And we knew we were going to write a book, and I hope it sells. I literally hope this gamble I took on myself and with our mission here, I hope it literally pays off for us. But so I mean that's you got questions about the trip? I'll tell you, best stadium, PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I will not disagree with that at all. It's the best one I've been to. So
Worst stadium, Citi Field in New York, Queens.
Ooh, interesting. Why do you feel like that was the worst?
Shea was a dump. So
Shea was a dump, but I don't hate Citi Field.
All right. Almost everything about Citi Field annoyed me. Okay? It probably didn't help that when we got there, because and this part doesn't make any damn sense to me at all about a New York City baseball team, because you have a lot of people who are tourists who go there. Mm-hmm. So during the day, we drove in. We were staying in Connecticut, in Mystic, actually, because that was a good halfway point between New York and Boston.
Okay.
So we're staying in Mystic. We drive to Liberty Harbor in Jersey, and it was a good spot to park the car for the day.
Right.
So, and we wanted to do Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. So we did that. And then we took the ferry, instead of going back to Liberty Harbor, we took the ferry to Battery Island. We walked to the 9/11 Memorial and went through the museum, taking a shitload of pictures.
Yeah, you can't not go through there without taking a ton of pictures.
And dude, the like melted fire truck. I mean, God, we were like sobbing when we saw that. Sure. But So then we get on the subway, though, after we leave there. And we're like, all right, we have to go toward Queens. But first, I want to go to the Met because I'm a big dork and I wanted to see the Met before we saw the Mets.
Right.
All right. So we get there. I got off at the wrong subway stop. It was like, you got to get off at 79th. There are two subway stops at the 79th, and I got off at the wrong one. So my wife and I are like freaking running to try to get to the Met before it closes. And we get there. It's all right, it closes at like 5. And it's like, I don't know, 4:15 or something like that. All right, we got like 45 minutes. We get up there. They're like, closes in 15 minutes. I was like, it says 5 o'clock. Nope, 4:30. So, what? Come on. So anyway, so we literally like went into like 2 rooms and, hey, we're at the Met. Here's a picture. And then we got on the subway. We get out to Citi Field. And then we get out there and it's just like, wow, there's nothing here. No restaurants, no bars.
Yeah, it is kind of in
nothing.
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, as much as something can be in the middle of nowhere in New York City, Citi Field is in the middle of nowhere.
I will agree. I will
crazy.
absolutely
So
agree with
there's
that.
nothing around that. That's why.
Absolutely nothing.
That's why SunTrust ranks, like, out of the ballparks I've been to, ranks 1 because of everything around, because of the battery that's around SunTrust in Atlanta. That's why it ranks so high for me. The heat kills you to watch a game, but in terms of the way the park's designed, with a hotel there overlooking the field, it's built to bring people in.
Right.
And that's why that ballpark now sells out. Not only because they're good, we've seen them be good before and never sell out.
Yeah.
It's because the ballpark brings so many people down there. And that's huge. And I can't believe in New York that there's nothing around.
I will absolutely
That's
agree with
wild.
Ron because
That's wild.
You get off the train
And then you stand in line.
And you basically have the stadium and a neighborhood, and there's nothing in the neighborhood to do.
Yankee Stadium
There's
is
not
similar.
there's not even a neighborhood there, though, dude. There's nothing around it. It's surrounded by a parking lot, several parking lots. But here's the messed up part, Tom. They don't even allow tailgating.
Yeah.
So you got a stadium in the middle of nowhere surrounded by a parking lot, and nobody's tailgating. They get out of the car, they stand in line. There's no music. There's no nothing. There's the Apple out front. Big whoop. So then you go inside. We're at 5% when my phone is at 5% when we get inside the stadium. Based on the experiences we had been to 8 stadiums.
Or have charging
Yeah.
stations. Yeah.
Oh, we'll just charge it there when we get there. There's one. I'd asked 5 different ushers, hey, where's there a charging station? Like, nobody knew.
Oh, jeez.
Finally, somebody told me, oh, it's up in the effing vodka bar, which is like in the 300 level. It's a club level. You need a special ticket to even access that level. And that's the only charging station in the entire stadium.
That's unbelievable.
And not every fan has access to it. Fortunately for my wife and I, we were in like section 130 down the left field line. Our tickets did allow us access into that, so we were able to. But we spent half the game
trying to find a charging station.
No, we spent half the game out of our seats down prime foul ball territory, up in the 300 level, charging our phones, so we could we could log this for our trip for the website and everything. And yeah, I was so annoyed. And Mets fans are cool. I like we were down in spring training in Port St. Lucie, and we got introduced to the 7-line Army. They're awesome. But, yeah, they have the worst stadium in baseball. And what's also annoying, LaGuardia is so close. Every 2 minutes, you got a plane going overhead.
Well, it was a lot worse when they were at Shea, though.
Mike, if we were sitting this far apart,
we wouldn't hear
I would
each other.
not be able to talk to you until the plane was over.
It was actually a lot worse when they were at Shea.
So,
wow.
I mean,
in New York City, like, they really are considered like the stepchild there. But I'll tell you another thing. Yankee Stadium's real similar. In terms of, like, there's not much around. There's a McDonald's. There's, like...
Well, you got a handful of bars around, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably do in, like, some walking distance. I was
in
just
the Bronx.
I was only, like, out front of it. I didn't travel around too much. But, like, right out front, there wasn't, like...
And Yankee Stadium is actually right smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But, like, Xfinity Live in Philly, where they have, like, a place where you can go get food.
That place is cool.
And you drink, like the fact that New York, at both stadiums, don't have that is really shocking to me.
Well, but here's the
you know
thing.
what I mean? You think it would be built out like
you
a
don't
SunTrust.
need it in the Bronx,
right? But the Mets, what they did is, and this might be smart. I don't know, but they have a McFadden's and a Chickies and Pete's, but they have them in the stadium, so you actually have to go in to get to them.
Yeah. No, I know they have restaurants in the stadiums in both. I know they do because I've been to Yankee Stadium, but Yankee Stadium didn't impress me at all.
I mean, the Marlins have a damn pool, and so do the
Diamondbacks?
The Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
How was Chase Field? Because I was supposed to go there last year.
I really want to see Chase Field with the roof open.
Okay.
I'm hoping to do that in April. My wife and I we plan on doing winter in Arizona this year, and we want to stick around for opening day so we can actually see Chase Field
Really?
in April, because when we were there last year, it was August.
And it was probably 135
It
degrees.
was 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's when we were supposed to go.
And the roof was closed. I mean, thankfully. Same thing in Houston. We were there in late August, and the roof was closed because it was 100 degrees outside. So those are two stadiums I'd love to see with the roof open. Chase Field is nice.
What did Petco
The
rank?
food's pretty good. Petco was second.
Second.
Behind
I would say
PNC
that.
Park. And
Okay.
then the top five, I'll say top six because I really like the number 6 stadium. By the way, outside of Citi Field, and then like we had the Trop 29 and Oakland Coliseum 28, or maybe the other way around.
You did Oakland Coliseum?
Huh?
You did the Coliseum too?
We did all 30.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I just said
And
retract.
So those are easily the bottom 3 for us. I mean, Oakland Coliseum is a dump, but it's their dump.
They know it's a dump, too.
It has a charm to it. There is no redeeming qualities about Citi Field. But our top 6 though was PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Petco Park in San Diego, Fenway. We had 3rd, Camden Yards, Busch Stadium, and then Coors Field was number 6. And I mean, outside of PNC Park, those other 5 are like interchangeable. Honestly, I will say those 6 stadiums, or PNC Park, Busch Stadium, and Coors Field, have the best views from your seat in baseball. With Coors Field, if you sit up high, like we actually got really lucky because like in the 4th inning, this also led to the best part about our trip last year. About the 4th inning, we got up from our seats. The Rockies had donated 30 tickets to Lutheran Family Services Rocky Mountains, and they were in section 156, which is the left center field bleachers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as we did in every other stadium, so we could get decent stadium reviews, we got up out of our seats about the 3rd, 4th inning. It was the 4th inning at Coors Field to see what the stadium has to offer. My wife actually got Rocky Mountain oysters, which I was not brave enough to eat. You know what those are? Okay. She said they were chewy. I got a Todd Helton burger.
Probably the smarter move.
Right. But so there is a purple row in the upper deck behind, like, in the grandstand behind the first base side and home plate. That purple row is exactly 5,280 feet above
I was
sea
going to say
level.
that's
So
the mile high,
the
right?
mile high row, right. So my wife and I were like, okay, we're going to go up there. We're going to get a picture of the field. Well, we didn't even realize it. It was like the sun was setting when we get up there. So, like, we're up there and we're watching the sunset go down behind the Rocky Mountains. And it was like the coolest freaking thing we could see. And my wife was like, wow, this is the best view in baseball. So then in right center, there's an area called the rooftop. So if you look left, you got downtown Denver. You look right, they're the Rocky Mountains again. Well, and then you got a really good view of the batter's eye, which is the coolest batter's eye in all of baseball. It's like a little forest with a waterfall. The trees even go into the visitors' bullpen. It's really cool. Well, we're up at the rooftop in the 5th inning. And the Rockies were just kicking the crap out of the Diamondbacks. So the final score of this game was 19-2. It was July 11th last year. And, in the 5th inning, German Marquez comes up. He was pitching that night, and he hits a home run to left center. The first career home run for German Marquez. And I looked down. I said to my wife, I said, babe, I think that's our section. Sure enough, we get back down there, and one of the kids from the foster care organization, one of the foster kids, got the home run ball.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great.
Very cool.
So we get and a picture of that kid is in the book, and yeah, he's grinning from ear to ear with his baseball in his hand. And I actually said to him, if I was here, I would not have given you that ball. But I mean, that was the coolest thing that happened on the trip last year was that moment right there, seeing that kid at a baseball game only out of the generosity of the Colorado Rockies and he goes home with a home run ball. I mean,
Yeah, that's amazing.
that's a 10-year-old boy who's got a memory for life.
Sure.
No, you're
And
right.
probably his first game, right?
Yeah,
More than likely.
Yeah. First ever major league game.
It's pretty crazy that you brought up Bethany Christian Services in Pittsburgh.
Because they have offices here.
They have offices here, and my parents were foster parents.
That's awesome, dude.
Based out of Bethany as I was growing up. So my parents we have had growing up 16 foster babies go through our house, and I actually have 3 of them that are adopted into my family.
So what was that? So what was that like for you as the bio kid? When your parents were doing that.
When they were doing it, I was so young. I was 11, 12, 13, that age. And they were babies.
Okay.
They were newborns. And we only really had them up to about 6 months at that time. And then, then they moved on to, I guess, their next family or sometimes a forever family and whatnot.
Right.
So while there was some sort of connection, it was just like, okay, now the next one's there. And again, I was so young, it didn't really, I knew what was going on, but it wasn't necessarily like, oh my goodness, we can't live, without, James or whatever he was. Especially when we knew he was going to, his potential forever home.
Right.
But the 3 we ended up adopting, we had the first one, she's probably 27 by now.
And how old are you now?
I'm 38.
Okay.
We had her from day 3. She was hooked up to a heart monitor.
Oh, wow.
And at the time that they wanted to find her a forever home, she was 4 years old. And my parents at the time were like, no.
This is our daughter.
This is ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was, because at that point, then you spent 4 years.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And having a baby hooked up to a heart monitor because of what the mother did during the pregnancy, it's even more care than a normal baby.
It attaches you more.
And it attaches you more, absolutely.
No question about it.
And then the next one, same thing. Not necessarily hooked up to a heart monitor, but we had her within the first week, and then 3 years later down the road, they want to be like, oh, we found somebody. And again, we're like, no.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. And then the same thing with the third one. I joke with my mom all the time because my mom's a baby fanatic. Like, she sees a baby, she wants to go hold it. It doesn't matter if she knows him or not. Like, she'll go up and, Target, be like, oh, can I hold your baby? I'm like, Mom, you're so weird. Stop it. But the third one is funny because I told my mom, I said, do not do another one because it's not leaving. And it stuck around.
Sure enough.
Nice.
But no, it's crazy. It was crazy that you were able and you hooked up with Bethany Christian and they're still around and still doing
we were
good work because it was growing up. They were attached to our church and that's how we got attached with them.
You helped. You saved 3 kids' lives.
Yeah.
That's what your parents did.
And we were hoping to work something out with Bethany here with the Phillies, but it was one of those things where it just didn't. The things just didn't align up. And Bethany has offices in Baltimore. And we were hoping to, with the Pittsburgh connection, to do things in Philly and Baltimore with Bethany. But, again, it just didn't work out. But, things happen. We're so grateful to the Pirates for those 200 tickets. But, it's great you bring that up, Greg, because, I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? You guys probably knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But, last year when we were traveling, we met so many people. We were telling them about what we were doing. And it's like, oh, I grew up in foster care, or my parents were foster parent, or my uncle. We met so many people we didn't know they had a connection to foster care.
Connection, right?
There are so many people out there who have some kind of connection to foster care. And my aunt and uncle were up in Seattle, were foster parents for 17 years. They had lost their daughter when she was 12 years old in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
And so when their son, who was a year younger than her, when he turned 17 and they were kind of facing this empty nest
syndrome,
my Aunt Deb was like, hey, she brought up to my Uncle Bruce, what do you think about being foster parents? And they did that for 17 years, and they came close to adopting one child, but the agency, for whatever reason, just like, all right, hey, we're going to put this kid in another home.
Yeah.
And it really broke their hearts. And they actually talked about that. I took advantage of them being my family when we were up in Seattle last year and interviewed them for our podcast.
Sure.
And my Uncle Bruce is driving me crazy because he kept holding the microphone down here, and I'm like, Bruce, you got to pick it up, man.
That's why we go with headsets.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, Ron, I could tell you just in terms of your ballparks. So I've been to 16 out of the current 30, as well as Shea, Old Yankee Stadium, and there's one more that I'm for RFK when the Nationals were there.
Okay.
So 17 total,
And
19 total, 16 out of the current 30. I'm in complete agreement
20
with you.
total because the vet.
Well, and the vet, yeah. I don't even count that anymore.
Yeah,
but
but you
you're
gotta
right,
count it.
yeah. So 20 total, 16 of the current 30. I'm in complete agreement with you on PNC Park. It was by far the best park I've been to. My worst, though, I'm going with U.S. Cellular in Chicago. That was, to me, that was a shithole.
We had it somewhere in the middle. I don't know, maybe 20, somewhere around in there. The food there is great. They got this elote, the Mexican street corn.
Okay.
It's so good. Because it's in like a Latin neighborhood in South Chicago.
South Side, yeah.
But and guaranteed rate field, by the way, now.
Oh yeah, now
But-
it was Comiskey, then it was U.S. Cellular, and now it's guaranteed rate. But you know what I mean,
Right? Yeah. What I liked about that stadium was outside of the food was the color, the literal color that they put in the statues of their players. So like you look at the Harold Bain statue, and he's got the red sleeves, like with the old '80s, White Sox
with the
uniform.
White Sox uniform, yeah.
And I thought that was a nice touch. We really didn't see that anywhere else. One thing that and even White Sox fans will tell you this, when they built that stadium, they were too true to the old Comiskey because it was one of those classic ballparks that was completely enclosed.
Right, completely enclosed.
Right, so you couldn't really see out of it. But so when they built the new one with the open outfield, and you didn't like the little twirly rolls,
the windmills
on top of
the pinwheels.
Yeah, the pinwheels. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name.
And I will say this,
But
both times that I have been there, I have done the Wrigley during the day, South Side at night. So both times I've been there, I'm coming from Wrigley.
All right.
And it's the second game of a day.
Okay.
So there may be an exhaustion factor involved to it, but there was just nothing about that stadium that impressed me. It actually reminded me, being completely enclosed like that, reminded me of the old vet.
It's not enclosed though. So, but the old Comiskey was. The new one, they've got this open outfield where you can actually see past the scoreboard and stuff. But the old Comiskey home plate, like downtown Chicago, was to the back of home plate.
Right, behind home plate.
They did the same thing with this one, even though they got this open outfield wall. So they were too true to it. You could be looking at the Chicago skyline, but instead they put the skyline behind home plate. And that I was like, okay, what were you thinking?
Who did it at nighttime?
But I will say though, when we were there, it was June 17th last year. It was Father's Day. It was like 90 degrees. Oof. And 2 days later, we saw the Cubs on June 19th play the Dodgers, and it was like 50 degrees.
Welcome to Chicago.
Right. But to get out of the heat, though, underneath the right field corner, there's something called the Craft Cave.
Really?
And it's just this air-conditioned bar with a bunch of local and national beers. So next time you go there,
I was going to say that could sway me.
Just hang out in the right field corner at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Okay.
Just hang out in the right field corner at the Craft Cave, and you'll be happy.
That's great. Where does SunTrust?
Because you can still see the game.
Where does SunTrust and Citizens Bank rank?
We had SunTrust in the top 10. Like you mentioned, the battery's awesome. It's like walking through Main Street USA at Disney World when you're walking up to the stadium. It's really cool. I mean, I would go there without even a ticket to SunTrust Park and just hang out in the battery.
That's
honestly.
what we did. Yep.
And then we had Citizens Bank Park. I think it was 13th.
13th?
Yeah. So
good number. Right
top
there.
half, yeah.
That's
top
about
half.
where I think it should be.
One ahead of Miller Park, the home of my Brewers. So.
I think the skyline, they built it the right way, like you said, unlike Chicago, where that skyline's out if you know, out in the outfield. Which I think they did a good job with that. They did a good job of building up that area down there, and then there's even more to come. So they're going to get, they're getting the casino built right on the premises there. So there's even going to be more. There's even going to be more around that ballpark to do, and I think that's just the beginning.
I love the whole sports
honestly.
complex in Philadelphia because not all. I mean, Kansas City kind of has it with Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium being like right there.
Right.
But with Philly, you've got a team in all four major sports
right there,
and they're all right there.
And you saw coming over like how close it is to us. Like I'm literally. Like I joke when I used to work in the city, I would joke with people that work in the city. I said, "Listen, where I live in Jersey, I'll get to that stadium quicker than you do, and you live in the city, but it's because it's right there, and it's
except you have to
my
pay
taxes are a shit show here.
Except you have to pay the Jersey exit fee.
Yeah.
True.
Correct.
Well, no, we got to pay the Jersey going in fee.
Yeah.
The exit was free. So
No, you exit New Jersey, you pay to leave New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
But he lives so close that I've actually come here to go to ball games with him.
Just park here.
I park here. We go over in one car.
Yeah, we've done that.
Robbie Pope chimes in real quick. He says U.S. Cellular, what it was used to be called, is the last of the old stadiums built in 1991. He said Camden Yards was built shortly after, and it was the model for all.
The new old stadiums.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
You see a lot of aspects. You see a lot of aspects of Camden Yards at different stadiums.
Yeah.
And even one that's 2 years old, SunTrust Park, that Monument Garden with the Hank Aaron statue. I mean, that is total like Camden Yards-esque. And
I've been at the stadium more times than I feel like I've been to Citizens Bank this year.
What, SunTrust?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to SunTrust. I mean, I've been to like 3 Phillies games, but I've been to SunTrust twice. And I've been to the Battery like 4 times. And over the last 2 years, I've been to 4 games down there and to the Battery probably 8 times. I've been down there for 2 weeks in a row for baseball, and it's like the one place that there's everything's
something
around to do.
Yeah,
there's great food down there. There's tons of different restaurants. There's stores. And like, man, living in one of them apartments is a money spot too because they got apartments built up down there too.
Right.
So it's just like everything they did. The only thing that sucks, and the only thing I tell people down in Atlanta is there was one mistake with that ballpark. You had it. You should have got a retractable roof. You need it.
See, we were there April 2nd, so it wasn't
You're all
hot
right.
at all.
Yeah, but you go there in July like I did.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only sit out there for 4 innings.
There really is not a lot of cover there.
No, that's
there
the
really
problem.
isn't.
So, Ron, I'm curious. Given the age of the stadium, what did you
Phillies
think?
closer Hector Neris will begin serving 3-game suspension Thursday.
What did you think of Dodger Stadium?
First of all, it's a weird stadium because you enter like at the 400 level and then you go down.
And you go down, yeah.
So that was like, oh, okay.
Well, I was telling these guys when I went there, you kind of come in through the various neighborhoods, and you're at stadium level, but then you drive down the hill to park, and then you have to walk back up the hill, and then, like you said, you come in at the top of the stadium.
Right.
It's crazy.
We actually rated it, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the pack, maybe 20th, somewhere around in there. The stadium rankings are I have a chapter in the book called Stadium Rankings, but then they're also listed on our website. But what I did not like about Dodger Stadium is that outside of maybe Seattle and San Francisco, probably the most difficult stadium to get to because it's on top of a hill. There's essentially one way in and one way out.
Right.
And so traffic is a nightmare. Angel Stadium, on the other hand, is a breeze to get to. Angel Stadium's great.
Right off the highway,
the train station literally is right next to the stadium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Angel Stadium is a breeze to get to. I actually liked Angel Stadium more than Dodger Stadium just because it was so simple. But Dodger Stadium is neat. We actually saw an extra innings game last August. It was like August 2nd, I think. So the Brewers actually, so kind of
a bonus.
We didn't know it at the time, but it was an NLCS preview, right? And Yasmani Grandal hit a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 10th to win the game for the Dodgers. But Lorenzo Cain was up in the 9th inning. He needed a home run to hit for the cycle. He led the game off with a triple, and then he scored. And so I'm the only Brewers fan in the entire section. And I'm like, yeah, Locaine, gonna hit the cycle right here. Yeah, and then he flies out to the warning track. And I'm like, extra innings, here we go. And then it did go to extra innings.
Free baseball.
And Grandal hit the walk-off in the 10th inning. But the Dodger Stadium's cool. I mean, it's a classic park. I didn't even realize the Dodgers, their first couple of years in L.A., they played at the Coliseum, which is kind of hard to think about. But, when I saw that they were getting the All-Star game next year, I was like, man, they can be able to handle that? It's going to be a pain in the ass. But then they're going in the offseason, $200 million renovations to Dodger Stadium. And it does need it. I mean, it does feel dated because it's really like it's a old ballpark, old classic ballpark, but it was like 1960, So it's not classic in terms of Fenway
or it's not Fenway or Wrigley.
Right. So it needed it. I will say it's expensive. The concessions are very expensive, as you would expect in Los Angeles. Angel Stadium is not like that. Petco Stadium is really not like that.
Not at all.
If you have
I thought it was comparable to being in Philly or anywhere else. Yeah.
If you have a summer birthday, by the way, at Petco Park, which we went to a game on August 11th last year, and it was my wife's birthday, you get a free helmet ice cream sundae on your birthday at Petco Park.
It's winning.
So
I'm in November, though.
You can bring your dogs to the park, too. I mean, they got a lot going on down there.
So we actually took our dog because different stadiums, except for a handful that don't do it, but most teams will do like a bark in the park game or dog days. They call it different things. So we took our dog to 3 games last year. Nationals Park on April 8th. June 7th, I believe it was, in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. And then like September 2nd or 4th, somewhere around in there, in Houston. Nice. And
that's great.
It was fun. He was our marketing manager.
Marketing. I like it.
All right, boys. We're going to save Eagles for next week.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. That's fine
because they're not going anywhere.
Right.
But they are going to the Super Bowl, so that's the place they are going. They're not going
to
anywhere.
play the Chargers, right?
I mean, they could. I wouldn't bet against Tom Brady getting there as a for the umpteenth year.
I'm with a little different team going and
Chiefs?
representing the AFC.
Raiders. No, I'm just kidding about the Raiders.
Jacksonville.
God, no.
Duval.
Anybody got it?
No.
Nobody knows
He's going Cleveland.
You know it.
Seriously?
He's living on it. Baker's one of his sons.
He's a Baker guy.
Baker's my kid, man, and he flat
Baker,
out spins
Jorge, JP. They're all his sons.
I will
he
say
lives
Cleveland-
vicariously through them.
Cleveland
I
has
don't care about Odell. I care about that Baker is going to get better, and that defense is loaded.
Cleveland has the best skill position group in the NFL.
They definitely do.
No, they do. They're a problem. They're a problem.
I ain't gonna lie. I love me some Nick Chubb. I do.
Me too. We wanted him, remember?
Yeah, we did.
I
We
saw
wanted.
it.
We were begging for Nick Chubb.
Oh my goodness, we were.
Right after like 2 weeks after I moved to Charlotte to start working at Sporting News, I covered the Belk Bowl, and Georgia was playing.
Belk tires.
No.
Is that what it is?
No,
Is it-
Belk is like
a
a Best
department
Buy.
store.
Okay.
It's a department store.
A department store?
Yeah.
Okay.
And all over the South, but they're
Yeah, I was going to ask you. That's Southern.
It's definitely
but they're
Southern.
headquartered in Charlotte.
Okay.
Belk.
Well,
like a fucking tree.
Nick Chubb was a freshman, and I can't remember who Georgia played, but it was somebody from the ACC. But anyway, Nick Chubb ran for like 300. He broke Herschel Walker's freshman bowl game rushing record in that game.
That's awesome.
And I was like, wow, this kid's pretty special.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Poll results. So, I mean, I feel like I was right there. Agree 33%, disagree 67%. They're right where we thought it. So, and on YouTube, 100% disagree.
Because the YouTubers are smart.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know, and I would like to have some of the whatever that 33%'s on. Whatever you're on.
They're the Gabe
Swinging
guys.
on by. Doors open.
They're the Gabe guys.
Yeah, they are the Gabe guys. Ron, thanks for joining us,
Thank
brother.
you.
Yeah, Ron, thanks.
And,
for
guys,
Much appreciated.
Yeah, there's a link on the homerononwheels.com to purchase the book. We're going to donate a portion of the book sales to these foster care organizations we've worked with.
That's awesome.
And if you're in D.C., August 13th from 6 to 8 at Busboys and Poets in Arlington at the Shirlington location.
And then real quick, again, how can people follow you on Twitter and Facebook?
Twitter, Ron_Clements, and then Facebook and Instagram, Home Run on Wheels, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to put some stuff up there.
You hear that, YouTube fam? Swing on over.
We had video in Hershey where my wife and I made our own candy bars.
Nice.
Oh, what, Hershey Park?
Yeah.
We're just up at Hershey this weekend.
And that video is on our YouTube channel.
Hershey
Very
Park's
cool.
one of my favorite parks. One of my favorite amusement parks.
We didn't go to the park.
As this body
we just
would
went to
tell
Chocolate World.
Yeah.
I've
It's all you need to do.
I've been to Chocolate World a few times. Love me some Reese's.
Family, thanks for joining us. Another great show. Stay tuned tomorrow night. You have the Hockey Happy Hour live at 8 p.m., I believe, because there's no lazy booking.
Yeah, they're early, I think.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be back with lazy booking after SummerSlam.
Yep,
So.
Philly Sports Guys, Friday night, 8 o'clock. Saturday, you have the weekly roundup. There will be a new show coming on Saturday in a couple months. A new one coming, and there might even be another show start. So we might be up to 14 really soon. Sunday, you got the boys, Agree, Disagree. We'll be live at 8 p.m. Monday, the Sports Hounds. Tuesday, Birds of a Feather. And Wednesday, usually have the Fix in front of us, and an AM and a PM. And that's your rundown. And as well as on Sundays, you have
In
In This Very Ring with Jackson Ritz. And that's usually a 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time kickoff for them guys. They might go 5:05.
Well, you know how those Texans are.
Yeah, they might go 5:05 because the Southerners, they're more relaxed.
Hey, forget about
You
it.
know what I mean? But they're doing a great job, and they're live now, fam, so there's no more. Like, I know you might see them. You don't see them on YouTube, and we're going to get there for Jax or Ritz. So I already talked to him about it, and we're going to get them over on YouTube, too. So you'll get 2 wrestling shows on the YouTube side. And listen, anybody out there trying to do a show, you can do it remotely. You can do it from the studio. We're looking for more shows. We're here for you. For the fan. By the fan. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio. Thank you, Gibson Mayer LLC. And thank you to our doc, Dr. Paul Adele, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC. Tom Marone, Michael Mataraki, Ron Clements, Greg Milwakovic, Robbie Pope on the 1s and 2s. The family, we love you.
Awfully quiet on the other side of the glass tonight.
And hopefully, my damn throat's better by Sunday. But listen, you're still here? Hit us up. You want shirts?
Buy the merch!
No notes. A2D, dry fit, feels freaking delicious. Hats are money, flex fit. We got all sizes you need. We out.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.